Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second edition of the Alpha Scrims, a tournament hosted and played by Alpha X players and hosted by us. This is me, Ecotistas, and I'm hereby joined by Potato Pleb.
Hello everyone, I'm Potato Pleb.
Well, so we're already going on into game 1. I'm sorry about the little bit of delay. The tournament was supposed to start at 4 p.m. CET, but I'm sorry I had a little bit of technical problems. But now we're ready to start, and well, I'll let my partner do the shoutouts to the natural Reno codes and our sponsors.
Right, so today's games are brought to you by 24 Hour Fitness and also by Bubba Burgers. Thanks for them, we are able to host these games. So first of all, 24 Hour Fitness. I would like to take this moment to give a huge shout out to 24 Hour Fitness. For over 30 years, 24 Hour Fitness has been dedicated to helping people achieve their fitness goals. They have 436 locations, fully equipped with weights, cardio machines, studio classes, and awesome personal trainers. So huge shout out to 24 Hour Fitness.
Oh, that's impressive.
I know, 24 Hour Fitness. If I was living in the States, I would definitely sign up for it.
But sadly, we're not living in the States. I'm Italian and Korean. Well, I think we're ready to start. And I'll start in the top left corner of King's Cove, hereby spawning as the green Zerg, going into the first game of the series. He is the French Zerg, Hino.
That is very nice.
Yeah, your turn.
And
now.
on the bottom, alright, now on the bottom right corner, we have the red Terran burning.
That's right, King's Cove. Long map. Not really something for rushes or things like that, but this pool is actually super early.
Ooh, that is an early pool.
Yeah, it is.
Considering the fact that this map, the rush distance is rather long,
yeah,
I don't know if it will go there in time, but I do like this really early aggressive opener from Hino.
Yeah. I think it's something a player actually does not expect for the long rush distance, and something that many people do not consider is actually that the getting on the ramp of the natural is actually really easy, because there is the ramp next to the third base. So actually rushes are perfectly viable in this map, since you can go up the ramp anyway.
Right.
And get a good surface to attack with Zerglings on. So 6 Zerglings coming for Hino. Not too much, not a big commitment. He's getting his second archery. He's doing something, I think, not really super aggressive, not super dedicated. It's just like a really, I don't know, a scouting build that is supposed maybe to delay the command center by burning, that didn't necessarily scout, actually.
But since burning didn't do an SCV scout, this Reaper might just bypass these Zerglings, and these Zerglings might actually cancel the CCs just like you said, and that would put burning in a very bad position, considering the fact that the CC is also almost halfway done at this moment. Now Reaper coming to the other side.
And the Reaper is still actually turning back, but I don't think he's gonna be on time. The command center is gonna get delayed. A single Marine tries, and here we have a SCV pool to actually try and get the least damage possible. Zerglings are falling, but so do 2 SCVs. And now 4 SCVs actually die to the 6 Zerglings. And for such a low commitment opener, I think this is really good damage. And I think another one is going to die. 5 SCVs die, and this is a lot of mining time lost.
Yeah, but considering for burning in this bad scenario, he did the best choice. He took the best choice in this horrible scenario. So a nice little clap for burning for that.
Yeah, but I think Hina's got a pretty good advantage. 6 workers advantage. He has 3 queens. He's looking good. Third actually
he is
as well.
He is looking very strong, and also the third base going down. Man.
Yeah, so the Reaper is actually getting in the main base, but there's already a queen over there, and I don't think it's gonna deal a lot of damage. He tries to get a drone, and he actually gets the drone. That's not too bad.
Yeah, nice pickup there.
Attacks. At the same time, Burning is going for a 1-1-1 opener, and he's getting a fusion core. Oh my god!
Ooh, this is a very, very bold move. I don't think that we might see a battle cruiser. Instead, I hope we see a ranged liberator, because ranged liberators are actually really good on this map.
Yeah, there is this little spot behind the main base in which you can get a lot of damage done, and there are no transfuses at the ready. So 2 aliens going all the way through, 3 more in the base of burning. I think he's gonna get an armory soon to try and do some damage with Outbats. But at the same time, I think he wants to focus his efforts on getting ranged liberators or battle cruisers. We don't know yet. Well, actually, battle cruiser just started.
Ooh, this is rash.
Nice scout by Eno, actually, that gets the battle cruiser, the starport and the fusion core as well.
Oh, he sees everything.
He sees everything.
In this case, Burning is in a horrible position at this moment, unfortunately.
And already 3 sport cores are going on in Hino bases. I think he's getting 2 more queens. And he has a total of 6 queens and 3 sport cores. I think this is enough to actually stop that kind of pressure.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Burning at all. I'm afraid that these Hellions are just gonna get denied by these Zerglings and Queen. And
that's a lot of queens.
Battlecruiser is not going to do much with all these Pro Crawlers and this much Queens, so...
Steam pack on the way for Burning, and Hino is actually safely droning. Good quick spread. 4 queens at the ready to actually... 4 quick queens to actually try and deny the Hellion damage. And this Overlord on the top side of the map, I don't know what he has in his mind. Maybe he just wants to scout any medivac or something, since he actually saw the tech lab going in next to the barracks by Burning, but here the battle cruiser comes and he actually gets 2 drones, but all the queens are instantly pulled. There is no transfuse at the ready, a queen 4, but this battle cruiser isn't getting a lot of stuff done. Another queen is actually falling, first transfuse is used, not a second one at the ready, but the battle cruiser is getting focused by 5 queens as once. At the same time, the Hellion run by in the third base, kill 5 SCVs. This is something actually for Burning. A little bit of damage, but it's falling more and more behind.
But I don't think this is enough at all.
No,
Battlecruiser was supposed to do way more than that, and Hellion only getting 5 and trading out with how many Hellions? 6 Hellions and 1 Reaper for 5 drones. I think Burning is not in a good position. He needs to make something work with this 1-1 timing, or he is not going to be able to continue in this game.
At the same time, Hino's getting both a Bailey Nest, 2 Evo Chambers, and a Spire. So he's getting the tech advantage as well. He's gonna deny those Medivac drops, and actually he's gonna deny the third base by burning as well. There are no Hellions at the ready. So those Zerglings are actually free ground. This Battle Cruiser is actually going to shoot them away, and yes, the command center can finally land.
Yeah, let's get it, Battle Cruiser.
Yeah. 13 kills on the Battle Cruisers, by the way, yeah?
Oh, not bad at all. And the force base is going down for Hino, almost uncontested, so I think burning is not looking good still. I know I'm repeating myself here, but he needs to do something.
Reactor on both the newly made barracks, but well, that's 76 workers to 59, and +1 rank, +1 air is going on for Hino as well, bailing speed, and a little bit of damage by this Battle Cruiser in the fourth base of Hino, but we're gonna keep an eye on those Medivacs since those are the focus of the Terran player right now.
Yeah, I think he's going to trying to clean up some creep and pave the way for the next push, which is probably going to be like 2-2.
Nice micro by Hino, by the way. Saving those mutas. Actually lost only 3 mutas, and he actually killed the Battle Cruiser. Well done. A lot of upgrades going on for Hino, and Bernie is actually getting forced to try and deny an eventual Brood Lord transition. And well, Burning has to do something with those Marines. And he's going to work in a bunch of Banelings actually. There's no way
he needs to
this.
He needs to at least clean up the creep in the middle section with these Marines, or he is not going to be able to pay for those Marines. And also, if he loses this in the first place, that would be horrible too.
A good catch by Burning that immediately saves his Marines. But Hino is going on the aggression actually. He's getting oh, this is a good surround. Yes, oh my god.
And these mutas are gonna clean up this medevacs.
6 Marines and 2 medevacs just died for Hino. For Burning, sorry.
There's only 1 medevac and 2 medevacs are gonna come out.
Yeah.
And with all these army from the
army supply.
This is a bit too much for the Zerg.
The middle is, but there are already a lot of turrets. We don't mind as well to try and deny them. But he can get some damage done. The Fury is actually going to shoot the mutas away, but at the same time, the army by Hino is actually really impressive. This Limbane Muta army is going to be hard to hold for the Terran player.
Yeah, and some nice micro with those Mutalisk as well, picking up that nice little siege tank.
But he has upgrades as well on these mutas. Yes, +1. So he's trying to get in with a good spread of Banelings and Marines while the Mutalists actually get on top of the tanks. Good spread by Burning that sadly loses his command center, and Hino goes away with a lot of damage done. A lot of tanks are dying as well, and now these mutas are just to get away. A lot of them actually died, but overall I think Hino got the better engagement. He did a lot of damage.
Yeah, and also the force base blowing up. Yeah. I just don't see Burning coming back from this.
He still can get up on economy with mules, so economy-wise it's not that much of a big damage, but I think Hino has a safe transition. He's getting the hive right now. He probably wants to get a great Aspire, get those Vipers out as well, and I don't think that Burning can actually do something against Vipers right now.
Yeah, and also with the 5th base coming up from Hino, and just a scary army from the Meta-Link Bane from Hino.
It's just working right also now. Just finished for Hino, Melee and Carapace. And he's going to get another really good engagement on those Banelings. And the Torah is actually saved, but the bio army of Burning is actually just dying. The 4 dies as well. and the army supply of burning just plummeted through. Those two Widow Mines are not going to do a lot, I think. And more Marines are trying to get down on the ramp, but those burnings are actually getting such good connections. His slowly fall is going to get picked up by Hino, and I think the third player actually has done it. There's no more army for burning that calls the GG. Hino gets game 1.
Very nicely played by Hino in this game 1.
He was looking really smooth.
Nice little pressure and really punishing Burning for not scouting with the SCV, and that just snowballed. That early pressure, I think, is just snowballed till mid game and finally to the GGs.
Yeah, it was like an avalanche falling on Burning, like holding the battle cruiser, getting a lot of damage done with the first push, delaying the second command center on the natural, and then delaying the third one on the third base location. Yeah, that's a lot to actually ask from a player to come up through.
Right. That was game 1, and let's see what the choice is from Burning. So the loser will choose the next map.
Yep,
so
the format is actually semi-finals into finals. 4 players are going to play best of 5 in the semis, and then it's gonna be best of 7 for the finals. Veto, it works like every player vetoes a map until only one remains, and then from then on it's going to be loser's pick and all maps are open again. So we're trying to set up the next map. So, Kairos Junction.
Kairos Junction.
Many people think that Kairos is actually the most standard map in the pool. What do you actually think about it on ZVT? You're a Terran player.
I actually think that Kairos Junction is actually really good for the Terran, especially because of the third base location where the rock is. Because of that rock with the siege tank, with the 2 siege tank and few marine with Banshee push, the Terran can just set up their siege tank on by the rocks and just siege down on the third base location. And if the Zerg doesn't decide to take the third base in that location and takes it on the quote-unquote fourth base location, there's a hill on the other side, meaning that Terran can also lay down siege from that side. So I think for the Zerg to play really well, creep split will be the number 1 priority, making sure that Terran cannot just siege up wherever very comfortably, and making sure that they have to fight on creep. I think that's what Zergs have to focus on.
There is even a pretty open part of the map in the center, so it actually can get pretty nasty for the Terran if the creep spread is actually going on through the center of the map, since basically the Zerg can get any engagement he wants. But the way the map works is also really good for Air Zerg, like getting a good army of Rulords, Corruptors and Vipers is really hard to hold for a Terran, since as you said, there are those hills, those really good spots to just lay siege on the opponent for like every race.
Right. I highly agree with you as well. So I think this map is going to be very interesting, and this map is Kairos Junction. Let's jump right into it.
I think the Zerg is going to do something aggressive. I don't know, I just have this feeling, but let's get on to it. Hino's leading the game. Well, the series, sorry. But let's get to it. Hereby, in the top left-hand corner of Kairos Junction, trying to tie the series, is the blue Terran. His name is Burning.
Now, on the bottom right corner, we have the green Zerg, Hino.
Of course, as I said before, both these players play for Alpha X. So this is an in-house tournament.
Ooh.
And so those are players that actually played a lot against each other, but well, this is a proxy barracks. And at the same time, this is a 16 pool by Hino. Pool first. Again, I think with the 6 Zerglings scouting harassment. Yeah,
Right.
this is a big advantage, by the way. Getting this early pool against the proxy, big advantage.
Yeah, I think for the Zerg, there's no reason to not go for pool first because A, it counters any form of early Terran aggression, and B, it's just safe. And in the long run, hatch first, pool first, it won't matter. So I really like the choice from Hino.
I actually do not really agree because I think Clash opening is right now a lot stronger. But as I said before, those two players have history. They actually practice together. They're both in the same team, so I think they know each other pretty well, and I think Hino prefers to get an early pool for this reason. Or maybe it's just his playstyle. You know, every player has a different playstyle.
Let's see.
This is a bunker,
and
this is out of vision by Hino. The proxy gets started, but not the bunker.
Right.
Ouch. Zerglings can fight the Reaper right now. He tries to get onto it, but he has to actually back away. And he potentially is going to lose all of the Zerglings, since the Reaper cannot ground them. And, well, link speed just started. So those are 6 lost links for Hino. And now he sees the bunker as well.
Additional links being constructed. No factory
The
just
Reaper
yet.
almost falls actually. 6 HP. But, well, the Queen is getting onto the bunker, but he has to shoo away those Reapers. And actually, the movement by Hino positioning the Queen over that spot has been really clever. The bunker gets dismantled and Burning is back into his base, flooding his barracks way.
2 factory coming
factories.
down, a mech transition.
And he could get the command center on the low ground, feeling safe with those Reapers. And at the same time, Hino made a lot of Zerglings, so he wants to take advantage of it. Building nest almost done, link speed almost done, and he's gonna move through the map.
Yeah, I think Hino's trying to get a lot of damage in here because he is not building any drones here. So I think he's looking forward to end the game possibly with this Baning bust over here.
Yeah, I think he is, but he must not lose a lot of Zerglings since the factories are actually done and 2 aliens are going to get away pretty soon. There is a bunker as well, Starport getting started, and well, I don't really know. More and more links by Hino. He gets into position, the aliens are almost done, but the Banelings actually get through, and this is a lot of damage. The aliens are actually just made, but a lot of SCVs are going to die to this kind of pressure. 9, 10 SCVs actually die, and those links are trying to get on top of those aliens. But the SCV's micro is being really good by Hino, by Burning. Sorry, the first alien actually dies. Only one is standing right now. 12 SCVs full, 13, 14, and now Burning can safely go back into mining with a 7 workers disadvantage. Oh, the mule!
Yeah,
the mule! Oh my god, 5 HP.
Yeah, and behind this, Hino was droning up.
Yeah.
And with this much difference in worker counts and the income, even with Mule, I think it is going to be hard to come back from this kind of damage.
Yeah, I think so too. And a Roach Warren actually is on the way for Hino. The only thing I'd be scared of is actually Banshees, and it seems Burning is wanting to go into the Tech Lab Starport. And I think it's going to be Banshees.
Yeah, it is probably going to be Banshee because I think Burning was trying to go with Cyclone, Hellion, Banshee this game, but things are going south at this moment.
These are 4 aliens, 2 Reapers to try and get some damage done, but 5 Roaches, well, they can shut it down pretty easily.
Yeah.
So Burning is actually trying to get a Logan wall right now. Hino sees the Hellions actually come through the map, and maybe this barracks is like trying to throw Hino a little bit off, but more and more aliens are coming through, and I think Hino actually knows what's going on right now. Oh, those Ravagers!
Ooh.
Well, Bernie decides not to commit, so 3 Ravagers, 2 Roaches, and this is probably gonna be a Ravager push. Aliens are actually falling. 2 die to those Ravagers, and the first Banshee is almost done, and Cloak is almost done as well. No lair for Hino, so well.
Yeah, every unit counts here. Oh, and a nice little counter push with these Heliots.
But he has some links at the ready. The Queen is eventually going. The Queens are eventually going to clear it off, and at the same time he loses all of that army, and only the Banshee is staying home to defend. Some nice corrosive bites, and he actually gets the Banshee. What a great pick by Dino.
Yeah.
And now the SCVs are being transferred into the main. But well, this is a lot of roaches, a lot of Ravagers. And the Widowmine is actually gonna get sniped with those corrosive bites. The tank gets on the wrong side of the ramp, and Burning is done for.
A very nice GG coming down as well.
Yeah. 2-0 lead for Hino.
Very well played by both players. But I think Hino really did play well with the early mind games and the Zergling pushes. With finally closing the game with an awesome Roche Ravager.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty good.
Really clever move, by the way, by Burning to actually try and do a counter with those aliens, but being able to manage the Banshee home, those aliens and Reapers over there against Queens and Lings, and yeah, this is a little bit too much. The tank didn't come on the right side of the ramp, he couldn't get the high ground tank. Maybe that could have helped, but those were too many Ravagers. I don't think that actually Burning could have pulled it off.
Yeah, it was just very well executed by Hino.
Yeah.
So
he took advantage of his early build. You know, he made a lot of links, so he thought, why don't I just go for a Bailey bus, and it actually paid off.
Right.
But we're waiting for the Terran player to choose the next map. He has to get the game, otherwise he's gonna get eliminated.
After all this, would you think that Hino is going to go for another pool first, or do you think he's going to change things up and go a little bit more macro oriented and build hatch first?
I think actually, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right?
Right?
I think he's going to do another 16 pool first build, and I actually do not. I don't know what I would think if I was in the mind of the Terran, because you know, you're losing 2-0. You're really committed aggressive builds have actually failed. Do you try and do another aggressive build, or do you get into a more macro-ish game and choose something like Field 0 or something?
Right. In the case of 2-0, I think as Burning, personally, I don't know him, but if I was in his shoes, I would just do my best macro game, and I would definitely do an SCV search and try to be very fundamental, play by the textbook and play very fundamentally, because the better player, assuming that you're the better player, if you go macro game, then you will win. Therefore, I think Burning needs to stick to the textbook, make sure to scout, and then constantly move. Wait, are you in right now?
Oh,
in this game?
No, I'm not in this game. Did you start the game?
Oh my goodness, I think so.
Oh, that's not good. I think we're gonna have to remake this.
Just a second.
I don't even know what's the map actually.
It's New Repugnancy apparently.
Oh. Are you remaking?
I'm just talking to Burning right now and the players.
Yeah, let
We
them
need
choose,
to
of
get
course.
yeah.
But these kind of things can happen.
Yeah, sorry about this.
Oh, I don't think it's a big deal, you know, just remaking it is fine. Last Alpha Scrims, we actually had to wait like half an hour for Mamba to come. So, he actually took over BioIce, since BioIce couldn't play.
Ah, right. I remember that. The Korean cat.
Yeah. So what are they saying right now? What's going on, man?
Zerg did the 6 Zergling push again, but instead of sending the Reaper over right away, Burning decided to keep his Reaper in his natural, and he is deflecting. Currently, he has been delayed a little bit, but the SCV barely lives, but just gets caught. So CC is going to be delayed a little bit, but the Zerglings are all going to get cleaned up, and the CC is continuing to be built. And behind this, Hino is continuing to macro up with all these by building drones, and he is currently taking a third as well on the high ground, on the middle ground.
So this is going to be a radio casting. I don't know.
we are very sorry about this.
Well, I'll let you take over this, man. We're just gonna hear you, what you have to say.
All right. Now he takes the third.
Well.
All right, that's nice. Instead of injecting right away, Hino decided to go for the creep first as well.
Oh.
Which is very nice. Oh, Phoenix just left the game.
Yeah, he actually just brought on Discord that we didn't get me in, so.
All right.
In future,
hopefully we'll work this out.
Yeah.
And I can't pause the game either because I'm not the referee.
Yeah,
right
you're
now.
not the referee. They made the lobby by themselves, so next lobbies are going to be made by our admin, Phoenix Tears. Since that's the right way to do it.
Anyways,
sorry about this. It can happen.
Built, and 2 Marines are also being built. I think we're going to use the recover game feature in order to recover this. If we recover this game.
Yeah, I think we will.
Yeah. Anyways, for now, Medevac with 6 Marines and a Widow Mine is going to the natural. And the Reaper is swinging around, checking for any 4th bases, moving into the 3rd base, and trying to do some harass. But Zerglings are waiting and is nimbling on the Zergling. Nice PP. I cannot ult. Dang it. Alright. And we are leaving?
Yeah, I think we're going to resume from replay. So.
Yep.
I'll turn the music on again. Well, we have to get actually. We have to invite. Yeah. Wait a moment.
Let's see. Alright, so we have Burning, we have Hino, we have Akon.
We have to invite Phoenix. We have to invite Phoenix.
He's in the party.
Oh, he's in the party. Oh, sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're just doing the recover game feature right now.
Yeah.
Well, meanwhile, should we talk about our sponsors?
Well, why not?
Alright, so today's games are brought to you by Bubba Burger. So I would like to take this moment to do a quick shout out to Bubba Burger. So Bubba Burger has a very deep history. Did you know that?
Well, I don't, but tell our viewers as well.
Well, here's the thing. In the early 90s, a guy named Walter Bubba Eves had a mission to create the perfect and juicy burger. So Bubba invented a unique production method that allows the burger to be cooked from a frozen state and still remain juicy and flavorful. Fast forward to today, Bubba Burger is the #1 branded frozen burger in the United States. They have different burger varieties and vegetarian options as well. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is, man. You know, when you
Yeah.
just want to get the juicy burger in your home, you don't want to get out, you don't want to order anything, and just open up your freezer and get something done. Yeah, that's something. Wish
Yeah,
I
it's
had it
really
in Italy.
nice. One time I visited the States and I actually tried Bubba Burger and it was really good. Like, no one needed McDonald's, only Bubba Burgers every day.
I bet it was, man. I really did.
Alright, here we go. Resume.
Alright, shall we do some really quick presentation? Even if the game just has been resumed. I think we owe them a little bit of presentation. Well, spawning
Alright.
in the bottom left corner at the 5th minute mark. He is the Red Terran. His name is Burning.
And on the top right corner, we have the Grain Zerg. Eno!
From France. So I'm trying to actually catch up and know what's going on right now. So I'm just taking a look at those players' base. I see a 1-1-1 opening by Burning.
Yeah.
So I guess it has been a little bit of alien harassment, and well, I think what reactor. So this is gonna be just a drop.
Yeah, but it gets scouted, so Hino would know exactly what's coming to him.
Did you just kill a changeling? No, he didn't.
no,
He
I think
does
it was
not
a
have
Zergling.
oversee. Yeah, it was a Zergling. But that's a lot of creep by Hino, by the way, and a little nice Zergling spread all over the map to actually get if Burning gets a third base, if he moves out. And he actually sees those medivacs coming. Burning is actually going to deny the 4th base location for Hino. The drone dies as well, and he gets a good siege spot. The Marine actually try to deal with this, and the tank dies eventually. Those Scrims are actually trying to clear up the medivacs, but those buildings are not surface to get in. But the Scrims actually deal a lot of damage to both medivacs and tanks, and the push is eventually cleared. 24 Zerglings going on for Hino as well.
Also, some nice little focusing fire from the siege tank on the Banelings, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, those
and
Scrims
also,
had just too much energy.
yeah.
I don't think he lost any Queen as well. But look at this lonely Marine trying to deny Hino's base.
It's the Hero Marine!
Yeah, but this is a bit too many Zerglings. And actually, not a single Zergling dies. So.
Yeah.
At the same time, Hino actually delayed his command center a little bit, I think. But Hellions actually just cleared it up. Hino tries to move out. Those medivacs are probably going to save those Marines, or probably not. I think they're gonna take one for the team. Actually, this one is gonna take one for the team.
Yeah.
Ouch. Spire for Hino, once again, probably Link Bainuda style. +1/+1 melee and carapace, and Bailey speed. The same time on the other side of the map, mech weapons, and more tanks actually being made
We're
in those
actually
factories.
seeing a classic mech here
Yeah.
instead of the battle mech that we see lately. I think I want to see how this plays out, because currently the old mech style is not really working in the pro scene. Innovation tried to use it a lot in Olimoli a few months ago,
Yeah.
but it didn't turn out really well. And even in like WCS or so, we always see battle mechs usually. So I really wonder how this is going to turn out for Burning over here.
But we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Thank me, Will, for the little tip. But those Liberators are not actually going to do a lot of damage. Actually, they get only 3 drones. 5 now? 7? Wow. Those are 9 drones falling actually to those Liberators. After a really good pull by Hino in the first situation. But now more aliens are actually getting in Hino's base. More Marines are trying to shoot the Zerglings away, and this is some good free damage for Burning. But quick spread, well, Hino is all over the map. Yes, down
Really nice quick spread.
The center of the map already. So some missile turrets in the base of Burning, but Hino is eventually going to get a tank, lose a Muda, and get away. I think it was an even trade overall.
Yeah, and here's the thing about the old mech. Even if you have swords and missile turrets in place, with good micro with the Mutalisk, it can get so much value with those Mutalisk. So I just think that the old mech needs some improvement. But some nice medevac sword movement.
Yeah, this was really nice. The supply depot is actually burning away. He has to repair it. Let's see the life of this little supply depot. Is he going to die or not? I think he is. Yeah, he's done for. And the supply depots die. Puzzle. Many of us get in, they get the missile turret, and a lot of SCVs are actually going to die right now.
Yeah, a very good snipe on the missile turret.
Yep. So Mutas just dealing more and more damage.
Yeah, really nice focus fire from those Mutas.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about. These Mutalisk are literally paying for themselves. Picking up these SCVs really nicely, pulling these doors off position. I think it's really doing well.
Would you look at that? 9 Swarmos for
wow.
Hino. The perfect counter, but I think he uses Locusts by mistake. Because those Locusts are not doing anything.
Yeah, I think it was kind of a panic use in order to save those Zerglings.
I used all the Locusts as well, by the way. You used the one in East Base as well. But he's maxed out right now, so he wants to get some good value out of those Swarmos. He needs to get some damage done. Those are 14 Swarmos. It's a pretty huge number. Hydralisk then as well to try and defend the hosts. And he's gonna probably switch to a ranged play. So getting Roach Ravagers and Hydralisk. Those Swarmos are getting into a good position, but at the same time, Burning is getting on the high ground, and those Swarmos are all out in the open, nothing to defend, and he uses all of the Lotus. But this is probably going to be a lot of damage done by the Lotus. A good surround with the Burning, the force get actually surrounded by Lotus, and a good catch with the Medivacs, but the supply of Burning is plummeting. Nothing to defend from all those buildings, and at the same time more roaches and probably Hydralisks are going to come out soon for Hino. That says only Swarmos, and it's once again maxed out. Those roaches are eventually going to get cleared by the force, but this is 187 supply to 125.
Yeah, really nice trade coming in from the Zerg player. Also, if you look at the lost resource tab, although it's not that much it's only like 1,000 minerals different, but considering the fact that the Zerg has been mining with more bases for quite a longer time, and since Terran units take longer to rebuild, Zerg is in a very comfortable position.
So more Swarmos, more rockets are going to get through here, and probably this is a dead planetary fortress.
Oh.
Yeah,
this is so painful to watch.
Yeah, and the Ravagers are getting on top of the force. The planetary fortress die. 2 tanks and the 4 died as well, and Burning has to quit the game. Hino gets the series 3-0.
Yeah.
Well.
I think very well played by Hino.
Yeah, convincing victory by Hino.
All right. So the next game. So this is going to be game, right? So the next game will be
Yeah.
Matiz and
Rosin.
Rodzin.
Yep.
Both Polish player, I believe.
Yeah, they're both Polish.
Right.
Matic used to be a coach, another player. He got back into playing once again lately. And he actually has been, I think, the coach for, who was he? For Nurture, I think. He has been coaching Nurture for a long time.
Yeah. That is awesome.
Yeah. Some important names in the roster, by the way.
Right.
Even in the European side, even though we're more focused on those big North American names like Australia.
Right.
Yeah. Can't wait to see the playoffs.
Well, while we wait for Matiz and Rodzin to come, we are going to do another big shout out to 24-hour fitness. Well, at contest days, I have a quick question for you.
Tell me, old man.
Do you frequently find yourself not going to the gym because motivation doesn't hit you until late night?
Yeah,
when your gym
happens.
is closed.
Yeah, it kind of happens.
Yeah, it happens to me all the time. So guess what? Surprise, surprise! 24-hour fitness is open. Do you know how long? 24 hours. It is open all the time. Yeah, so, and also, like, in United States, 436 locations are open 24 hours, meaning that whenever you get home or whenever you're available, you can just hit the gym anytime you want. Isn't that just awesome?
Yeah, imagine this situation, like, you can't sleep, you know, you're mad, something happened, like, I don't know, your girlfriend, like, was mad at you, and it's 4 a.m. in the morning, you can't really sleep, you try drinking water, getting something to go back into your bed. But you just can't, and so you say, oh, I'm too mad for this, let's go to the gym. And, well, guess what? It's open.
Right. And not only that, guess what? You have access to a free fit plan, studio classes, pools, cardio equipment in your membership. Awesome.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So a huge shout out to 24-hour fitness. If you're living in the States, make sure to go check them out. You can probably find it in your local area. So now we're actually getting into a game now, just in time.
Yep. On Paul Alexander.
Ooh.
So ZVT on Paul Alexander. ZVP, sorry.
ZVP is actually one of my favorite matchups. Very fun to watch.
Used to be one of my favorite ones, then I actually just started nidusing everyone. Because Nidus is OP. And I think I actually did it to you.
Yes.
Yeah,
when
I think I did. Maybe I shouldn't have pulled it out. Well, let's forget I just said that. So I never did a Nidus in my life.
Well, after all, I get punished for playing an off race in a probably one of the most important tournament to me. So
yeah, and I actually just won by nidusing 6 times out of 14 games.
Oh wow,
yeah.
that is a real good win rate for a strategy.
Yeah, it's 100% win rate actually. 6 games nidus and 6 game won versus a pro race.
So what do you think about the nerf coming? Do you think that nerf is like totally deserved? Or
I think actually a nerf is deserved, but that nerf I don't actually think is going to be enough. Really, I think the problem with Nidus right now is the price. It's that you actually just do not commit anything into going for that strategy, and so I actually think the price is the problem. Like getting like this nerf of the armor, and then like adding 25 minerals and 25 Vesping to each Nidus worm. Well, that will definitely turn the Nidus into a mobility tool and not such a strongholding tool.
Right.
The thing that you can get 4 Nidus worms with just 3 drones on gas in 5 minutes, it's just crazy. Let's be honest.
Right.
By the way, let's get into this game. First round of the series, the second semifinal. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Port Alexander, we have the blue Protoss. His name is Rosin.
And on the top left corner, we have the red Zerg, Matisse.
Well, actually, Mattis, I think he's going for another strategy. Actually, did a lot of times, or maybe not. Well, maybe not. He's not getting a pool. Is he getting a pool? Yes, he's getting a pool. Oh no, this is a. Oh god, yes, this is a 15-14. Or maybe not.
Oh! What? He is getting smart with this. Oh, I guess he was just scouting for a Pro War 2.
Yeah. you have to know that in Port Alexander there is this spot on the ramp on the outside ramp of the natural, and this is super good for like making a bastion of cannons and then getting a proxy gateway on the low ground or proxy robo and stuff like that. Zeno actually pulled it off versus me on a proxy tempest tournament, and it was scary. It was pretty scary.
Yeah.
I have to be honest.
Xeno's cheeses just hurt my brain. Like it's like playing Florencio.
Actually, once he tried to pull it off again versus me, and I managed to actually hold it, but it was because I went for a 12 pull expander.
Well,
one
at
the
little
same
high
time,
level.
gate expand for Rosin, really safe standard build. Both players are going for not something too different from the standard. Just Mattis getting a little bit faster hatch to avoid getting it blocked.
Alright.
Well, we're gonna see what's gonna go on from now on.
And the probe trying to deny the early third hatch, but no
this
third
is
hatch.
something that actually happens often in Port Alexander, since it seems a short distance, but actually getting into the one or the other third is actually a pretty long distance compared to other maps, since the ramp on the natural is actually huge. And yeah, so both Terrans and Protoss are actually trying to do this to force the Zerg into getting a bad third location, and this is clever by Rosin since he's going for a Stargate play, and if he gets enough Phoenixes, it's just super easy to get from this base location, the pocket one, the pocket third, into the main. So instead of the natural third. The Adept is trying to get a little bit of a scout, not too much to be scouted, just a lot of drones. Well, this is a lair actually, and did Rosin see it? He did not. He did not see the lair.
Yeah, but the lack of third bases should click an alarm for.
Actually, I didn't notice this, but Medis never pulled drones out of gas. Do you know what this means?
I have not noticed this. But the thing is, like, he has lots of gas in the storm.
Look at this, man. Look at this. The scouts, the Stargate, Phoenixes, and Oracles are going on. The Spore Couriers are being dropped. And Mattis is getting a lot of gas, man. 6 drones mining gas right now and 2 more extractors in the natural.
Do you smell an all-in a contest is?
I think I do, man. No for base, Hydroden, no Belinas. This is a Ling Rush supported by Hydralist, I think.
Ooh.
Or maybe he just wants to pull it off, to throw it off with the Hydralist then. I actually don't know. We're gonna see.
Yeah, I initially thought it was going to be Nidus's, but this Hydralist then...
that's a bit too much gas for Nidus. You take all of this gas if you just want to do like something with Roach Ravagers or maybe Banelines. You do not need all of that gas for a Nidus.
Right.
So, well, yeah, he wanted the gas to actually research Groove Spines for the Hydralists, and at the same time he's getting a Nidus. So it's gonna be Zerglings and Hydras in a Nidus.
Yeah.
And
I guess Nidus is used a lot.
Nidus is OP, let's be honest. And not a Zerg, so I will know. This is a lot of adepts. Adepts are strong both versus Zerglings and Hydras, but Rosin does not have a lot of vision in his main base, and Paul Alexander main is actually really big.
Yeah, but Roboblade does come down from Rodzin,
Yep.
and I think with proper scout, which he should technically know because of the lack of the expansions, I think Rodzin might smell something here. But instead,
Yep.
he's going to expand. I think he's pretty confident that he can protect any all-ins at this moment.
I don't actually see the Oracle. I think he needs the Oracle home to defend from the Nidus. Otherwise, the Nidus is just gonna pop off. And the Resonating Blaze is actually a good upgrade, since you need that DPS to kill those Zerglings and Hydras. Well, actually the Nidus is Mobility Nidus coming just outside of the third base location. The Oracle gets on top of it and is actually going to deny it. The first Nidus
very
is
nice.
getting denied.
And also, this Phoenix did a really good job just denying any Overlord,
Yeah.
like coming into the main base. Really well played by Rodzin right now.
Resonating Grey is almost done, as well as Muscular Augment, and at the same time, Matt is getting an Overseer to probably try and get in the good location to try and put on an Nidus. I think Mattis has either to kill the Oracle or to actually try and make him lose energy. So he tries to pull off another Nidus over here to just move his units a little bit faster, but this is a lot of adepts, and I think they're actually going to win the trade versus this flock of Hydralis.
Yeah, and the Colossus just popped out, so...
Thermal
it's-
Lens almost done as well.
Yeah, Mattis needs to end this game right here, or he is going to be in a very tricky position.
Yeah.
And the
this
stasis
is
will
good,
hold
yeah,
them.
good one. Second Oracle almost out. He tries to get the Adepts in a good position. He actually gets only a scout of his opponent's army. Oh, the Queen! The Queens have come. He tries to
Brenda!
get a good spread on top of this army. The Stasis Ward actually does basically nothing, but really good rolls, force pills to keep the Hydras away and just kill all of the Zerglings. Not a lot of damage has been done yet. Those Hydralis are just falling one after the other against two Thermal Lens Colossi. And the Queen actually survived, but well, this is not enough. GG called by Mightis, and Rodzin takes the lead.
Very nicely played by Rodzin. Like, I really like this reaction. And taking the
400
third,
APM, man.
everything.
400 APM.
That is actually really crazy.
Yep. Well, really good one by Rodzin, but I actually don't really like the game plan by Madis over here. It was like probably you can do the same with a little bit earlier push, just with Roaches and getting less gas. You know, making maybe just like a fake third or something just to get more larvae. And well, he's the pro player. I'm not. So.
But I think he specifically built this to maybe counter Rodzin, because after all, they are both Alpha X and they practice with each other. But unfortunately, this time I just think that Matisse kind of failed to snipe in terms of build order against Rodzin.
Yeah, I think he didn't manage a good enough scout as well. I think if he saw the Robo Bay, he probably could have pulled something else off. Maybe getting more Butchers or some Ravagers to kill the force fields, or maybe even just like, you know, making a spy play or something. But well, he was already a little bit too committed into the Nidus, and you can pull off some Muda builds with 4 gases and 2 bases. Those are mainly ZVZ builds. But well, it's not as effective as a good timing attack with Zerglings and Hydras, of course.
Right.
So King's
Next
Cove.
map will be King's Cove.
Huge map, and is apparently is heavily Zer favored. But well, let's get into the second game of this series, of this second semi-final, leading 1-0 in the bottom right-hand corner, is spawning the blue Protoss. He is Rodzin.
And on the top right corner, we have the red Zerg, Matisse.
But this is left, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. My bad.
But once again, the extractor trick to get a little bit more supply, just to get a faster archery, is going to take it a 17 arch. You can get a 17 arch on King's Cove, it's a huge map, but I don't... Well, the pro by Rodzin is he going to do something with it? This pathing is a little bit weird. But, well, no, he's getting into the natural right now, but the path is, like, really weird.
I think Rodzin, after the first game, is expecting some sort of aggressive game from Matisse.
He's actually going for something really standard right now.
Right. I think statistically speaking, in terms of MMR, Matisse is kind of lower, so I think Rodzin expected more of an aggressive build to come out.
Yeah, I think so as well, but he said Rodzin is just going for a gateway expand, really safe, getting his 22 probes, and now he's probably gonna get a 22 pylon. Oh, really, really standard.
And I like this. Yeah, I also like this little thing that Rodzin does with like healing the mineral and doing some little damage here and there with the drone. Where if you don't pay attention, like you can lose a drone or two.
At the same time, he's trying to block the third of Matisse a little bit on getting a scout on the timing of the third. That's something really important in CVP, since timing on third bases can make a lot of difference. But well, Adept being chrono boosted right now, getting scouted by Matisse Overlord. And at the same time, the tech choice of Rodzin is a Stargate once again. I really like this choice on this map, by the way. I don't think Robo is really that strong on King's Cove.
Right. And also Stargate, I think it's general, like just personally speaking, I think Stargate is generally a better choice because it also gives a nice little scouting information while doing some harasses.
And most importantly, the Stargate can actually pull it off a hold versus every aggressive build. The Zerg tries to do. Maybe it's not really strong against the Nidus or Lane, but the Oracle is a powerful tool. Let's be honest, the Oracle is a really powerful tool.
Yeah.
Once again, this is a super early lair. This is a free 15 lair. You probably cannot get it any sooner, and 2 gases being mined at once by Matisse once again. This is gonna be another shenanigan by our Polish Zerg.
After the first game, I didn't expect him to pull a similar kind, but I guess, like what you said, I think he might actually go for a very earlier Nidus aggression rather than the later Hydralisk one, because
it could be, yes, it could be, or it even could be like, Hydralisk then once again, I think this is a Nidus again, and this is a bigger map, so this is going to be a little bit more powerful than it is on Port Alexander, but well, let's see if this Oracle actually gets a scout or gets some damage done. So Sport Colors are in position, the Oracle is probably just trying to get a reveal, and it does, and it gets the Hydralisk then gets away, sees the third base by Rodzin, by Matisse, sorry, and it stops for a little bit to check it out if his eyes didn't deceive him, but well, this is totally different from what I would ever expect for the Zerg player to do. This is a lurker then at 4:30 minutes. This is a very early one.
A very fast tech switch coming in. I mean, not tech switch, but tech up coming in from Mati.
He's getting Groove Spines, he's getting Overseer, no Nidus in sight yet, but he's mining a lot of gas, so he can actually get, well, a lot of lurkers out. And well, I think Phoenixes are not that bad versus Lurker's Hydralis play, especially if Oracles survive and get the reveal. You don't even need an observer if you get a good reveal. He's trying to do some damage with his Oracles. 3 drones died right now, but he has to get away. He needs that energy. He needs to get those reveals. And actually, did he scout the Lurker then? I think he did. Yes, he did. He actually sees the Lurker then. He knows
but
what
the thing
to
is,
expect.
did he click on it? He probably did.
Yeah, I think he did. I saw his Oracle stop for a moment. Matt's getting a full scout on the opponent base. He knows everything that's going on, and he knows this is a double robo play. Nice switch by Rodzin.
And I think we're gonna see a robo support bait coming down as well.
So this is an adept timing with the resonating glaze that just finished, and there is not a lot actually to defend from these adepts. Not a lot of Hydras, not a lot of Queens. He's losing more and more drones. 5 drones actually die. He shades into the main. He's gonna get more and more drones. Right now, these adepts are doing a lot of damage. 8 drones die. He's going to try and shade into the... Well, actually he cancels the shade. And right now he's on top of the main, trying to get some more units. Oracle uses their energy to try and deal with the Hydras, but this is too many Hydras. Shading away into the field. More drones dying. This is a total of 16 workers killed.
Yeah, really nice little poke there from Rodzin with those adepts, doing a lot of economical damage. And with the and now Rodzin is going to be 4 workers ahead as well, with the 3rd base going down.
Oh my god, what is Mattis doing? This is a 7th minute hive and an infestation pit already pulled off.
Yeah.
Of course. Good stasis mode with the Oracle in the 3rd base of Mattis, stopping 4 drones from mining, and he actually saves the Oracle as well to try and pull off some reveals on the Lurkers, and more adepts are trying to shade in the mineral lines of Mattis. Those Queens are actually going to need to catch them off a little bit, or maybe not.
Oh wow, the Jades are gonna complete.
And there is nothing in the main base of Mattis. Rodzin scouts the hive as well. 4 drones dying right now, 5, 7 and counting. The Queen almost died as well, but he's not focusing on that. Instead he focuses on killing the whole mineral line. 12 drones died right now, and more are going to die. 15 drones died. 16 resonating glaze is a strong upgrade. 17 drones just died, and I think a little bit more damage could be done, but it isn't, because the Hydralisk actually pull off are quite late, but indeed good defense.
Yeah, Rodzin has Rodzin had a total investment of 15 adepts, and he took about 30 drones with those adepts alone. Really impressive plays coming in from Rodzin.
Just by opening the Workers Killed tab, it makes my Zerg heart cry right now. 35 workers killed by Rodzin. And 2 lurkers are being moved. Vipers is the choice of Mattis right now to maybe try and, you know, just abduct those disruptors. But well, High Templars, feedbacks kill Vipers.
Yeah.
So Rodzin is actually getting a 4th base. Mattis is starting just now to mine from his 4th base location as well. 71 workers to 68. But the army supply is actually heavily in favor of the Protoss player, who has such a varied army as well. Archons, Immortals, Stalkers, Zealots, High Templars, Sentries, Disruptors. He has an Oracle. I think he has a Phoenix somewhere as well. Oh, let's check. Yes, he has a Phoenix behind his base as well.
And a really scary army comp, like a really scary push coming in from Rodzin with Storms and Disruptor shots. I think if I was the Zerg player, I'll be quite scared.
This is a good number of lurkers, and he has to pull off something with Vipers. So 2 out of his 3 Vipers are full energy right now. He can abduct those Disruptors. He can try and abduct the High Templars as well. and these lurkers get in a good sieging position. More lurkers actually being moved right now. Oh god, this is
I think
a lot
with
of
this
lurkers.
much lurkers, it can zone out the army and
Yeah. 12 lurkers can actually position in a way you can never get past them.
Ooh.
At the same time, this is a chargelet warping in the natural base of Metis, and at the same time the main army of Rodzin is getting into the the fourth base location, while Zealots deal a lot of damage in the third base. This is such a nice multi-prong attack by Rodzin that kills 22 drones and counting. Those Zealots are eventually getting cleared, but a single lurker cannot deal with those many Zealots. 31 drones just died, and only now the Chargelot multi-prong is getting cleared. 31 drones died to a total of 66 workers killed in this game by Rodzin.
yeah, those are some really really nice damage coming in from Rodzin. Now, although I cannot say that the game is completely over, but we need to note the fact that there's a mothership coming in, and the carriers are being built, and also
Ouch.
Also, there's a worker count difference of almost 10 worker difference.
Just
So I
getting
think
evened out by the Zerg player that actually managed to save all of his Vipers and not lose a single extractor, I think. Yeah, he didn't lose a single one. And those Vipers are gonna be the key in the next fight, for sure. He needs more Hydralisk though. He needs Hydras.
but when the Golden Armadas come, I wonder how useful those lurkers will be.
Yeah, the Lurkers won't be of any use whatsoever, but it needs more Hydras. Vipers alone can do nothing. Hydras or Infestors are what he needs right now. So Rodzin is going to maybe even sacrifice those units to get to free up a little bit of supply, to get in more carriers. He's getting 2 at a time with his double Stargate. And at the same time, another warping in the... Ooh, nice catch by Madis that kills the Warp Prism and actually saves his natural from being harassed again. More Hydras coming from the Zerg player. He's almost maxed out, but those lurkers need to get something done. Good catch on those Zealots as well, but right now, a 5th base and doing something with these lurkers is the key for the Zerg player. Vipers getting ahead, maybe trying to catch those disruptors a little bit off guard. At the same time, the carrier count is going up. 4 carriers right now, another one being warped in, another 2 being warped in, and now the lurkers try to get into position. The Vipers need to abduct the mothership, and he gets caught. Now the Hydralisks are on top of the Skytos army of his opponent, and he actually manages to do some great damage with those Vipers, and oh my god, 3 carriers dying.
Oh my god.
The lurkers are in a huge sieging spot, and Medizet has pulled off something I clearly didn't think he could pull off. Really,
Yeah,
good
really
usage of
nice
those Vipers.
yanks.
And he actually saved 2 of them, and he has more energy for this. And actually the Vipers are abducting again those carriers. The storms are really good, eventually are going to clear out Madi's army that has to GG out, since those storms are actually amazing.
Yeah, those storms got really good value. Just absolutely destroying those lurkers and Hydra.
Oh, thank you, Alexander Renki, for the bits. Said that I do not have other box active. I don't know why. It doesn't really work. I have to figure this out. I'm sorry about it, but thank you a lot. Well, those storms, man. I think lurkers were a little bit too damaged as well. And, well, you cannot do a lot with Vipers versus I-Temples. I-Temples kind of counter every other caster.
Right.
So, he did what he could. I actually think he did more than he could possibly do. It was like such a nice attack. Clearing the mothership, killing I think 5 carriers, maybe 6 carriers. And then it was just the disruptor shots and the storms that actually killed him.
Right.
You cannot focus on too many things at once, I guess.
Alright, now before we go into Automaton, I would like to let everyone know that this awesome event that you are currently watching right now was made possible by amazing sponsors such as Bubba Burger. Bubba Burger is the #1 branded frozen burger in the United States. The burgers stay juicy and full flavor when cooked. They have different varieties such as bacon, cheddar burgers, sweet onion burgers, and also veggie burgers. So check out Bubba Burger in your local store in the United States right now. Those are absolutely delicious.
Can't wait to get my hands on one of them.
Exactly. I think I'm gonna order them from Amazon or whatever if I can get my hands on them.
Yeah, I think it's possible, man.
Yeah.
Or maybe even to, well, here in Italy we have NATO bases, so we can get like American products there.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I can go take a look at it. Automaton, ZVP. Well, Rodzin leading 2-0 right now on a map that's really good for virtual lanes. We're gonna see. Spawning in the left hand side of Automaton. He's the blue Zerg coming from Poland. He is Maris.
And on the right side of the map, he's also from Poland. It's Rodzin.
Well. Pylon on low ground from Rodzin, and Maris once again going for the distractor trick to get a little bit of a faster drone count, I guess, losing only 6 minerals. Fair trade. And Rodzin going to once again probably for get to expand. I don't think Medis is going to do something really aggressive, getting his archery really soon to avoid a pylon block. Well.
A rather standard opening from both players.
Yeah. This actually means anything, since things could go awry any moment. Especially for a Zerg. There are so many ways for Zergs to actually fake a standard build and actually do something really aggressive. I don't think it's the same for Protoss. To be aggressive, you kind of have to be committed. But it's harder to stop. That's for sure.
But Matisse is actually gonna go for, or attempt to go for an early triple, but the Pro just denies this really nicely.
And, well, you cannot really get the third next to the main. Ooh, tries to get it. Well, that's some nice micro by those players actually. Matisse did a lot of damage to this Pro, but I don't know how he pulled it off. But I really will see it and try to do it myself in the future.
Yeah, the ability to multitask for these players are absolutely amazing.
Yeah. The APM for both of them is through the roof.
Yeah.
So Stargate opening once again by Rodzin. This seems to be his favorite tech choice. He plays a little bit like Trap, I would say. So Medis actually, well, this is really weird, let's be honest. Medis actually pulled off every single drone from gas. Not a single drone is manning gas right now.
Oh, is this going to be a very early Zergling, like rush or whatever?
I think it is. There is no reason not to get any gas versus Protoss this early in the game.
I don't know if this is going to be worse for Matisse.
Ooh, actually, Medis. Yeah, he transferred drone in gas once again as soon as the Adept came in. So I think he wanted Rodzin to think he was going for a Ling, but he's actually wanted to go for a standard.
And Rodzin actually completes the wall on the low ground, or the soft wall on the low ground by putting down that. Yeah, putting down that gateway.
I kind of want to see like a Mass Phoenix style by Rodzin, but with those 4 colors already down and a Robo facility on the way, I don't think I'm gonna see it. So the Oracle actually gets a drone before he can get away, nothing too big, so it's basically an even trade because Metis had to spend minerals to get the Spore Crawler, and it's getting 1 in the third and 1 in the natural as well. While this Oracle is just chilling around, trying to catch stuff, scout something. Roach Warren in the main for Madis. And actually Madis just tried to scout his opponent base and want to see what he actually saw. And well, he does not know about the Robo switch. Neither he does know about the 5 gateways right now.
Right, especially since that Overlord just got sniped.
Yeah. But now he wants to get in with those links, trying to see what's going on. He sees there's no third base, so I think something might click on him right now. He's going for a lair. Maybe he's fearing like Dark Temples or something like that. And actually this is a super early Templar Archivist. I think we're gonna see probably the CIA build Charged Lot Immortal Archons.
Yeah, that's a really strong composition. Winter StarCraft likes to call it just a click to win
Yeah.
build.
It isn't really like that, but it's a strong build that actually opens up to so many different things. So Matt is actually going for range right now. He's going for ranged attack. He's getting Roach Warren, Roaches out, Roach speed, and the Hydralisk then almost done. So this is probably going to be Roach, Hydras, Ravagers, and maybe Lurkers through in the mix. But this could also mean Swarmos soon. We're just gonna see. So
the Archon drop coming in now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Roaches to actually defend from this. I don't think it's going to do a lot of damage. The Queen is not focusing on the Prism, and some lanes are dying, the Roaches are shooing the Archons away, but 2 drones just died, I don't know how.
Yeah, and really nice juggling. They're also cleaning up some stray Zerglings.
Yeah.
And also, interestingly, a gold base going down for Matis.
That's not getting scouted by Rodzin at all. Oh, ouch.
Oh, speaking of the devil.
I called it. That's my bad. I'm sorry, Maddie.
It's the caster curse that conquers these.
Oh god. Yes, to cancel it eventually. And the Zealots are actually going to die. He's probably going to sacrifice an Arcanist. Oh, wow.
Ooh, nice juggling there.
That was cool, man.
Yeah.
So he's getting a little bit of crit spread towards his gold base location. And Rodzin really doesn't want his opponent to get the base. And with some nice juggling, he deals a lot of damage to those Roaches who are heavily bruised right now. He sees the Hydras, the Observer is in a good spot to actually catch out any movement by the Zerg. At the same time though, well, Rodzin almost saturated his third base, is getting a lot of light tempers, Storm is on the way, +1 weapons is on the way as well, and more Archons are just going to clear all of this creep spread done by Madis. Hydralisk are trying to snipe the Wood Prism away, but those Archons... Ooh, nice. Well, without creep they cannot catch up, so... Nicely done by Rodzin once again.
The Warp Prism goes down.
Yeah, this was actually not expected. I'm kind of in a shock. And Madis is actually moving out. He's not making drones anymore. He chose not to make drones for a long time. Now he has saturated his gold mine. And he can move out and remax really easily. With +2 almost done as well. Muscular Augment finishes. The Oracles are getting a good reveal on the army. One is going to fall. The other one is at ready to eventually get another reveal. Or maybe deal some damage. And Madis actually is spreading his army in a way he can really get a good engagement on his opponent.
Right, but I really like this positioning for the stasis work.
Look at this, man. Those are 5 drop lords.
Oh wow.
This is a multi-pronged attack. And a strong one at that.
I really like this move. from Matis.
I think he's gonna use the other army to actually throw his opponent off. So he's on 3 different locations right now, and the army in the main is actually going to deal a lot of damage, and at the same time, Rodzin with a good split tries to save his third base location. Matis just retreated to a safer location. Another drop loads are trying to save the army. Storms are trying to catch those Hydras a little bit astray, and well, a good chunk of the army of Rodzin is actually falling, but at the same time Matis with a really good multi-prong is getting a lot of damage done. Well, those are 2 High Templars dead, 3 probes, a lot of stuff is dying for Rodzin, and Matis with his gold mine base can just actually just keep on making units, and he's almost remaxed once again. 2 stones are being used by Rodzin. He is eventually going to clear this off, and especially the attack on the third base has not dealt a lot of damage, but well, the meaning of Rodzin is bruised to say the least. He lost I think 4 gateways, 3 Templars. Not something to be looked down upon.
Yeah. And and another wave of just Roach Hydra just coming in.
Yeah, plus 2
without
Roaches
giving
Hydras.
some. Yeah, and with not giving a lot of time for Protoss to recover from that huge attack.
Yeah, he has only 1 storm at the ready right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, Immortals, they can live up to their names, really. They can literally live for the entire game, feels like.
Well, he kind of needs the perfect storm to defend from this, and he gets the perfect storm, actually.
Yeah.
What a great storm, killing half of Maddie's army, but now he's just pushing through those Immortals. He tried to get some more Archons, a good charge lot. Grouping is eventually going to clear this off, plus 2 weapons almost done, 2 Immortals being made at once from the Robo facilities, but at the same time, Maddie's actually lost one of the drop loads, which was full. But the income advantage of the Zerg player is really something.
Yeah, almost 800.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
He's getting Carabas as well, not really needed. I think probably a Hive would have been the better choice. But well, he's sending more and more units through. And the shield battery has nothing in it anymore. High Templars are just getting to the right amount of energy to try and deal some damage with storms. And I think the first one is ready and it's being used in not a really good way. So 4 storms for Rodzin versus 102 army supply of Roaches and Hydras.
It was 1 or 2 Zerglings.
Yeah, this is gonna be closer than you think, man. So,
Yeah.
Man is trying to get a good concave on the high ground versus this army. A really good storm actually bruises those Hydras to a point I don't think Madis can actually commit. And now the supplies are dead even. Actually, Madis supply is going down. Plus 3 ground weapons on the way for Rodzin, and now Rodzin has taken control of the game back.
Yeah, Storms, like, Protoss units can be really cost effective, especially with those Storms and Immortals.
Yeah.
But I think at this moment, since Zerg is also taking its, I believe, 5th base,
Yeah.
with Protoss still stuck on 3 bases with their main almost mined out, in 2nd base running quite a bit low, I think Matis is trying to go for the really late game resource battle.
I think
Which
the
in that
lurk then
case-
by Matis is actually the good choice. Since Matis
Yeah.
dealt a lot of damage, he forced Rodzin to actually rebuild these units instead of actually trying to tech up. And he's getting a tech advantage with the lurkers, since they actually can come into play quite earlier than you would expect. They do not need a hive, they do not need a lot of upgrades to be really relevant, and well, plus 2 ranged weapon lurkers, well, they can deal with this kind of army really good.
Oh,
At the
another
same time,
load of coming
another
in.
drop lord. So those zealots are actually going to do some damage, I think. Well, the engagement is going on. Rodzin trying to get on the ramp. Lurkers are not going to get done
Oh my god.
yet. Oh, Good push
And the
by
Z-Lock
Rodzin.
push coming to the natural as well.
Yeah. Rodzin moved out exactly at the perfect time to actually kill this gold base and deal a lot of damage in the economy of Madis that is forced to GG since he cannot recover the economy damage. Well, taking the gold base is something really... It's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I think just like you said during the game of Contesties, I think Matisse really had to abuse that pressure he had going on and expand it instead of over committing to an attack, because Protoss was able to just grow in numbers of immortals, getting that level 3 attack upgrade really quickly. I think Protoss just defended long enough to get a stronger tech army than Zerg in the long run.
Yeah, when the immortal count actually gets up and immortals are not dying, there's really not too much you can actually do with Roaches and Hydras. Since, well, Lurkers, I don't know if you do know this, but Lurkers count as armored units. So immortals actually can kill a Lurker in 4 shots.
Wow.
And immortals attack really fast.
Yeah,
So-
they do actually.
So even if he would have got those lurkers out, I still don't know if he actually could have pulled off a winning push. Even more so with the zealots in his natural, dealing a lot of damage. When you get so much stretched out with bases, with the Zerg, actually Protoss get a little bit of advantage. So the longer a game goes in a map like Automaton, in which the bases are like so far away from each other, the longer I think the Protoss can get a lot of damage going on, and there is a certain point in which you cannot recover even if you get up with a lot of pressure. And I think that's what Rodzin did. He just, he just took it like a champ, He just took all of the damage he could, like getting those small fights, those small like little advantages with good storms and good engagement spots, and he just held. He just managed to get through.
All right. Well, so that is going to be end of this series. Right? We're going to move on to the finals. Is that correct?
This is correct. We're going into the finals with Hino and Rodzin.
All right.
TVP,
An exciting game
ZVP.
coming up. Oh, another ZVP.
Yep.
I see.
And we have a really aggressive player on one side, and I think Rodzin is a little bit of a turtle Protoss, just trying to get the tech up, and he's really good at holds. So I think this is gonna be interesting.
All right.
Holding that Nidus in the first game with the Hydra link or lane, then holding this super strong pressure with the +2 Roaches and Hydras. That was impressive.
Yeah. Well, before we get into the finals, let me give you another huge shout out to 24 Hour Fitness. Did you know that if you bring a friend and get your results with a free fit plan, studio classes, pool, cardio equipment, 436 locations, networks of clubs, all included in your membership, you can try 24 Hour Fitness with a 7-day pass when you complete one of the sponsor quests. And these are things such as like going to Maturino and supporting our events. So those are really nice. Have you gotten some nice workout these days at Contesties?
Sorry?
Have you gotten some nice workout lately?
Yes, kinda.
Oh, okay. Well, I think if you ever go to United States, I think 24 Hour Fitness would be a great replacement or even better replacement for what you're doing now.
That's something I would like to do, is like going into the gym like at late night and getting those gains when you have those little those hours in which you cannot sleep, you don't know what to do, and you just go to the gym.
Yeah.
Well, in the States you can, man.
Yeah, because they got 24 Hour Fitness.
Exactly. I wish I had this.
Yeah.
So we're going into Vito phase right now. This is a best of 7, and it's gonna work like this. As I said before, the players will just veto a map each until only the last one map is remaining, and then from then on all the maps are gonna be open again, and it's gonna be loser's pick. And apparently is New Recognition the first veto or the first map they decided for?
I think it's a first veto.
Well, those players are not new to just vetoing the map between each other. And well, why is Rodzin in the game right now?
Right. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, they just vetoed in their private chat, or maybe they didn't. They just chose a map and rolled with it.
Veto in their hearts.
Yeah. Players will be players, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, here is Eno. He just started go and he was not in the lobby, and I was a little bit confused.
He's like, well, I don't need to play to win.
Or maybe wanted me to play for him, I don't know.
Alright, so here goes New Repugnancy. First game of the Grand Finals. Are you excited at Contest East?
Oh yes, man, I am. Those two players have pulled off a 3-0 victory on their opponents, and we're not talking like normal players, we're talking about pros.
Exactly. These are really good players that they just 3-0'd, so
Yeah.
I'm really excited how awesome this following game is going to be.
Rodzin asked for a moment. I think after playing a whole series without a single moment of respite, I think he earned this. Well, it gets us a little bit of time to actually talk about what we should expect from this series, because this is gonna be the least number of games you're gonna see is 4, and I don't think one of those two guys is gonna 4-0 his opponent. I think this is gonna be a really close series. I'm hoping to see a game 7. Maybe we're gonna get there, but who knows?
Right. Although it's like 1:50 in the morning here.
Yeah, it's
I am
5:50
hoping.
p.m. right now, so
Oh wow!
it's
living
pretty early.
across the world.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
an international stream, you know.
I'm
a
really looking
French player, a Polish player, an American host, a Korean caster, and an Italian caster.
Yeah.
This is
Really
a nice
an
mix.
international. Yeah. That is one thing I really like about Alpha X. We are
Yeah.
very diverse.
And you can, whoever wants can join us. You can just like go into the Discord. It's going to be in this page, in the Twitch page. You can see there is the Discord invite. You can get there, talk to an officer, and become a part of the team. We're like a family, you know. We just help each other. There's a lot of really nice people. Our manager is great, and well, I just suggest to anyone who's watching, who's not part of the team, to just give it a shot.
Yeah.
You do not need to be a pro to become part of the team. Well, by the
You
way,
can be a potato pleb, just like me.
well, yeah, that's right. But let's get into the first game of our grand finals, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of New Repugnancy, just having 3-0 Mattis. He is our Polish Prodos. He is Rodzin.
And on the top right corner, we have the French Green Zerg. Hino!
Going for a hatch first this time, because you can't go pull first without getting your natural blocked, of course. So he is getting for a more standard build right now. I guess we're gonna see if that's the case or not. So New Repugnancy is another one of those mechs with a huge main base. The main base of New Repugnancy is actually really big. I think it's almost as big as the one of poor Alexander.
Mm,
And
maybe.
well, since there is a lot of free air just behind the main, you know what this means? The New Repugnance is one of the best Nidus map in the pool.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping to see some really intense Nidus games because, after all, it is the Nidus era, right? Even
Yep.
in the IEM, we've just seen quite a lot of Nidus, and I hope to see some Nidus from these awesome players.
Well, I just love the Nidus. I cannot deny it. Just, it's my favorite build. It's my favorite build, actually. So, actually Hino has pulled off 2 drones off of gas. So he's going for the super standard right now. Not going for a heavy gas build. Getting his 2 packs of links. So 4 links, 2 queens. Metabolic boost. And well, Hino is getting a Stargate again. His tech choice, of course. Probably going to get either Oracle first, Phoenix second to deny scouting, and trying to get something done and scouted with the Adept as well. Nothing too much to be seen in a Hino base. Really standard, going for a third of his own right now. And well, things are looking like this is going to be a macro game.
Yeah, and I think this macro game is really going to test who's the quote-unquote the better player. Because usually in a macro game, the better player will win. So I'm really excited to see how these players would play under really high-stress situations, like a macro game.
So getting some link skill, getting some drone skill as well. A good pull by Hino actually saves most of his drones. Now those adepts find a sweet spot in those middle lines, but sadly one of them goes down, the other lives, and 4 drones actually just being killed. The Stalker comes to save the day, but I think the adept is going to fall, and the Stalker is getting actually recalled, and it's gonna get saved just in time. At the same time, he not getting a full scout of his opponent base. Twilight Council going on, and he gets the scout on it. No third yet for Rodzin. It's pretty early in the game. And actually, the shield battery completes the hard wall, and those links are just going to force the Oracle into using some energy.
Yeah, really just nice moves coming in from these 2 players. Just a little bit of things here and there, just to get a little bit of edge over each other. It's a really good sight to see.
I really like the style of Eno right now, just sharking around with those links, trying to get even the smallest of things done, getting a scout on these oracles as well, forcing the opponent to delay a little bit of spaces, to use energy to save the cybernetic core, have an adept in the making a shield battery, stuff like that. You know, those small victories that in the long run can actually mean something. But those oracles right now are getting more and more drone kills. 3 drone kills with the oracles to a total of 7 total workers killed.
Yeah, oracles are so good, I think.
Yeah, oracles are really, really good. Hino sharking around with those links, getting his lair, getting his Roach Warren as well, and actually trying to saturate those gases as well. So, probably going into ranged build, I think. He's getting a lot of Roaches, and Resonating Glaze going on for Rodzin as well. It's not really good versus Roaches.
Alright.
Third base just started by Rodzin, but well, Hino is getting like a little bit of macro advantage, I guess. So one of the Oracle is actually going to die. The Queen is gonna get sniped, so I think it's pretty much an even trade. Since Rodzin is actually not thinking about doing a Stargate full play, he needs just one Oracle to get reveals, to just get in a scout around, and now he needs to deal the serious damage with those adepts. Roaches are out, but Roaches are not spread throughout the bases, and Rodzin, with a good spread, can deal a lot of damage. Gets the scout, and immediately he moves his Roaches to try and deal with those adepts. Now the Adepts are trying to shade into the main. All of them are actually going to shade into the main. First roach is going to die. The other roaches are trying to catch up. And now Rodzin is focusing on drones. 4 drones die in a single wave of shots. 5 drones again in a single wave of shots. That's a lot. So another queen dies. Roaches try to get in position, but more and more giant drones are going to die to this kind of committed push. Shades into the adept shade into the main. Drones are going to pull off in the natural, but now they come back into the main. Roaches trying to stick to those shades, but they are just getting more and more drone skill. 18 drones, 19 drone skill. These roaches are eventually going to clear the remaining adepts. This is a lot of roaches, and now is the moment to move out for Hino. He wants to deal damage right now. He's behind on workers. He lost 19 drones to this harassment and 7 drones to the oracles. So now he wants to deal some damage of his own. And he's actually moving out. Good stasis ward being pulled off by Rodzin. And actually just 4 roaches getting stopped. Ravages being moved. A good reveal on his opponent's army. But just 2 immortals are not gonna be enough against this, I think.
Yeah, but there are quite a bit of force fields, so I think depending
that's
on
true.
how...
But such a
depending on how
clever move
buffed
by
it is,
Hino that gets up on the ramp on the other side. Totally not expected by Rodzin for the reserve player to sacrifice those 4 roaches for a greater good. And now the Oracle is probably going to get sniped. Oh god, he needs to kill it. And the Oracle gets killed. Good Ravagers Miles to get those force speeds out of the way. Links around on the other side. And those immortals are just trying to kill roaches. But the corrosive bites actually avoid any force speed location block.
Yeah, it was some really nice force fields, but corrosive bile just denying that. I think Rodzin just didn't have enough stuff.
And he actually calls the GG. And Hino gets game 1 with a convincing roach push.
Yeah,
After
and it was
such
a
good
very
attack
close
by
game
Rodzin.
too.
Yeah, it was really, really close. But I think the clever move to get up on that ramp, well, not a lot of players would have thought of that, I guess. Game 2 is gonna be losers pick. Rodzin is gonna decide where we're gonna play next. So it was kind of a standard macro game, but we saw 2 really strong timing attack. First one with the adepts, killing 20 drones. That's a lot of drone killed. With some really good juggling of the shades, moving in different locations while roaches were trying to catch up. Roach speed wasn't done yet. It was done by the end of the timing attack. Well, actually I think it was done halfway through, so he could eventually catch up to those shades. A lot of roaches were made to be spread throughout the bases and deal with it. And then Hino just fought once again, like he did in the game versus Burning in the second one on Karas Junction. In that situation, he made a lot of lanes. So he thought, why don't I do some damage with those lanes? And he actually won the game in that way. And I think he did the same reasonment in this game. He made a lot of roaches and thought, why don't I try to deal some damage? And he eventually won the game.
Alright. Now next map is going to be Port Alexander.
Yeah.
Pretty nice map.
I used to hate this map, but I grew up to kind of like it, I guess. It's still very strong for roboplay. There are a lot of ranks on which Colossi can just jump through. But let's get into the second game of our grand finals. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, trying to tie up the series and get the grand finals victory, is our blue Protoss. Coming from Poland, his name is Rodzin.
And in the top right corner, we have the French Green Zerg, Hino.
Alright. So, going for a 60 match. I vote in the Pylon block. Gateway expand, I think, for Rodzin. The gateway gets whooped. And now, well, without further ado, what do you expect from those two players in this game?
Well, looking by the openers, I think it's going to be just standard games. I just don't think this probe is going to do any cheeky things, but I think we're going to be in for another macro match. The previous macro match was very close, and I felt like their skills were pretty much even. So I think we're going to see another macro match coming, and just testing their skills to their max. What about you, Acontes? What do you think?
Well, looking at Rodzin Gateway Expand standard build, and looking at Hino trying to get a super early third base, I think economy is the mindset of those two players right now. This is a long Pylon block, nice. This is a long series, this is a best of 7. There is time to pull off some weirder stuff, like trying to get on the nerves of your opponent. But right now, I think those two players are just focusing on doing the best they can with their strongest build, and being such strong players. I think their strongest is actually macro.
Right.
So Eno eventually shoots the probe away and gets the third, or not. He does not have the minerals yet, and the probe is once again with full shields. Oh
my goodness, that
no.
probe is such a deuce.
Well, finally Hino gets his third base. Well, it's 27 third actually, so it's not that late as it looked like. But at the same time, once again Rodzin, for the 5th game in a row, goes for a Stargate opening. Well.
Yeah.
No adept,
Ross
actually,
really does
Stalker
like
opening. Oh no, yeah, there are 2 adepts. There is 1 adept. Well, not two, the game before he went for 2 adepts, and now he's going for 1 adept, 1 Stalker. Since the Dying Vision on Port Alexander is actually easier, because the high ground location for the overload is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty far away, the pervert pillar.
Yeah. And so this Stalker is actually going to deny all scouting information. And Hino does not even know this is a Stargate opening, so this Oracle could actually do some damage, since actually Hino did not went heavy into Queens. He just has 2 Queens and 2 in the making. But well, this is a blind sport crawler by Hino that probably knows how his opponent plays.
Yeah. Rodzin has been Rodzin was consistently going for Stargate tech, Stargate tech for the last few games. So I think it is kind of predictable at this point.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it always goes for like 2 players that used to play against each other a lot. But nonetheless, this Oracle actually just killed 6 drones.
Right.
And this is a lot of damage with just 1
bad at
Oracle.
all.
You kinda need more Queens, I think, in these scenarios. But he went a little bit heavier on the links to try and deal some damage. I don't know if you saw what happened with those links, but he almost killed the Adept, and the Adept tried to shade away, and then Rodzin made a gateway to block the retreat of the Adept, and he saved by the skin of his teeth, and he managed to actually block off those links that will eventually have a lot of damage. And now 2 Oracles trying to get more damage. John died, Spore Core had been dropped, and Hino is back into droning. At the same time, Rodzin going for charge, and the Templar Archives. No robo yet. Well, no second robo yet, I meant.
Yeah, I think this is going to be another just Zealot Immortal Archon Ball coming down from Rodson.
Yeah, but
I mean, it is a strong combo, so.
yeah, it is a strong combo, but I kind of expect Rodzin to go for a second robo to actually pull off the style, since he's focusing a little bit more on economy. And well, actually I lost this 6 drones by getting killed by those 2 oracles once again. And it's just crazy the way Rodzin can always find a way to deal some economic damage. 12 workers killed in the first 6 minutes of this game once again. And now the Work Prism is going to bring those Archons in the main base of Hino. Queens are in a good position to actually deal with this. Work Prism gets in a better spot. Actually, a Queen dies, no transfuses are being used. And the 2 highest energy queens actually just died. 3 queens died. This is a lot of damage to just 2 archons. 4 queens just died to 2 archons. A lot of damage.
And look at that juggling.
And he saved the archons as well. Nicely done by Rodzin. They dealt a lot of damage. 4 queens are nothing to just frown upon, man. 4 queens take time to remake. And it's time in which you are not injecting at all. And there is no way to snipe the Prism as well, so the micro potential with juggling for Rodzin is basically endless. Great crit spread by Hino once again, but those 2 oracles could get some more damage in any moment. The Observer helps, clearing a little bit of this creep, but the Roaches are eventually going to shoo the Archons away. So, as you said, actually Rodzin is going for the Chargelot Immortals Archon style, and the Oracles are trying to get some more damage done, and I think they can, since just 1 queen is out. But immediately a good pull by Hino that moves his drones away and avoids any damage, just a reveal for Rodzin. So sorry if I am not letting you talk a lot, but a lot of stuff is happening. So.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like 2:10 in the morning, and I'm kind of not focused here as well, so it's okay. I'm cool with you saying a lot.
So second robo actually being dropped by Hino, by Rodzin, as I said before. He's going for the double robo play. Once again, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? So.
But the thing is, the combo for Rodzin this time round is kind of better. His Psystorm is about to finish with high energy, high Templars, and he also has some Archons and Oracles in the mix. So I think this time he'll be a little bit more comfortable than last time.
Yeah, and especially since Hino's army is actually a little bit less cannony. You know, like, good storms can actually shred through this army. The Hydras get a lot of damage, and those Hydras are eventually going to get killed by the second storm. Perfect storms by Rodzin that actually deals a lot of damage to Hino's army that just loses basically all that he threw off at his opponent. 2 probes just died to those Zerglings, but the Stasis World blocks them off. Now, the army of Rodzin just clears totally the army of Hino, and Hino knows there's no way to catch up on this, and he GG's out.
Yeah, I think Rodzin is so good at setting up these engagements, especially with Storm, that he can literally just overuse his Immortals and High Templars and get the maximum value out of them.
I think the Storms were actually just insane. It's like he always knows what's the perfect spot to make a Storm, like getting those units in a special place in which you cannot go forward or you cannot go back, and you kind of have to eat the whole storm, and it just lowers the DPS for the Zerg army. And when you're seeing Hydras and Roaches, well, DPS is all they have, since Immortals shred through Roaches and Hydras are not very healthy at all.
Yeah. Well, before we go to the next game, I'm just gonna say one more huge shout out to Bubba Burgers.
Yeah.
So, you know, after a really long ladder session, you know how you get really hungry, using all those brain, using all those finger muscles?
Yeah, I would kind of like to have something to eat in those situations.
Yeah, I, every time that happens, I always ask myself, why not reward myself with some juicy burger from Bubba Burger? So, Bubba Burger is the #1 branded frozen burger in the United States. They have different burger varieties, such as the bacon cheddar burger. And if you're vegetarian, Bubba Burger also offer veggie burgers. So, really, just lots of varieties. Bubba Burger is really a really awesome frozen burger brand. So, highly recommended. And huge shout out to them for supporting us.
Yeah, that's something really nice. Getting some money into esports. Focusing on getting those players the stuff they need, and that's just really appreciated. So Phoenix Tears, our admin, is having some little bit of issues. But our next map is going to be Automaton. That's the map of choice of Hino. They clearly has something in mind, I think. I don't kind of think Automaton is a good CVP map. There are better CVP maps. Like Year Zero.
Yeah. Oh, I just don't like Year Zero for some reason.
I love Year Zero. It's my favorite map of the two right now.
Yeah, I don't know why, but personally, I just never found those like horizontal map, like where.
Yeah, like Stasis.
Yeah, like Stasis or Year Zero. I just never found them fun for some reason.
I love Stasis. I was one of the few guys who actually loved Stasis. Because I used to play with those heavy Lingbane Corruptor style. I little bit like Dark, And
right.
Well, it was
Rather
really strong on the
defensive.
map. Huh?
Rather defensive, and then after a while, getting up to the high tech and then just crushing everyone else.
Well, actually, the way I played Lingbane Corruptor was hardly defensive. Since one thing I actually always did was like getting a shit ton of Banelines and trying to destroy a Nexus, and at the same time using the Corruptors and to kill another Nexus with the Caustic Spry.
Right. Well, Automaton
It was pretty strong.
going to voice.
Well, by the way, Automaton. Well, spawning in the left hand corner, well, not corner, side of Automaton, we have our French green Zerg. His name is Hino.
And on the right side, it is the Polish Protoss. His name is Rodzin. So, as a Zerg player contestees,
Yes.
what strategies do you like using in Automaton?
I really like the Roach Ravager lean on Automaton.
Okay.
Because I think you can get some good engagements on this double ramp in the between the main and the third, of course. You can get some good spots, like getting even the high ground if you're attacking the third, or just biting down the pylon, and then you have a lot of surface to get a concave in the main base of the Protoss, since the natural base of Automaton is so big. And something I really like on Automaton as well are Link Floods. Because Automaton is a deceivingly long map. It's not short at all. It's pretty big. So it kinda gets really strong if you can manage to do a good Link Flood. But eventually, I think in the long run, if the game gets really long, as I said before, I think the Protoss is a little bit in a better spot. Wait, what happened?
Oh, Rodzin seems to have a little bit of network issue.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be an issue. The game just barely started.
Huh.
But by the way, as I was saying, the distance between the bases on Automaton is actually fairly huge. You know, you can get your first 4 bases and they're pretty close to each other. Then as soon as you get a 5th base, whichever is the one you choose, is gonna be so far away from everything you have that it's just going to be really easy to harass. And of course, Protoss have the best means of harassment compared to Zerg. So the longer the games go, the higher the chance the Protoss is going to win, according to me, on this map.
Ah.
But this is just my opinion, maybe, I don't know. I don't really like Broodlords on Automaton as well, since, as I said, the distance between bases is huge and Broodlords are really slow. So,
Right.
once again, Stargate by Rodzin. His tech choice is always Stargate. 6th game in a row he gets Stargate. And Hino's just going to macro up, getting his 3rd and 4th queen. Oh, sorry, this is just his 2nd queen. He's a little bit delayed, but it's his 2nd queen. Rodzin getting a little bit of a scout with the Adept. He sees there is just one drone into gas. He knows this is macro build. At the same time, Hino trying to get some little bit of scouting with the Overlords, but the Stalker 2nd by Rodzin actually denies any scouting information he could get. So another thing that's really important on this map is creep spread. For the same reason, I'm really like, this is something really important for Zerg. If the bases are far from each other, it's harder to actually get creep through. So it's harder to defend those bases, since you do not get creep. You have to move your. Oh, actually, those wings get in. The wall was not a wall. Oh gosh. The pilot actually gets down, the Stalker gets in a good position, but he can just chip through at the cybernetic core, but Warpgate is not going to be denied.
Yeah, but really solid poke there and really capitalizing on the opportunity.
Like
really good job.
Losing 4 links for an Adept is actually, I'd say it's better for the Zerg than it is for the Protoss.
Right.
So he sees the Oracle coming through, he sees the Phoenix, and Spore Callers are already down in his bases. He's getting a little bit more gas to support his Roach play, and the Lair is going on as well. Oh, so this is gonna be really different by Rodzin actually, compared to everything we've seen until now. This is +1 air weapons, and this is probably going to be a Mass Phoenix style.
Yeah, I haven't seen Mass Phoenix.
Double Stargate, Chrono boosted Stargate, and a lot of Phoenixes on the way. Only 2 drones killed by the Oracle, the rest back through, but we are already getting a good count of Phoenixes. He's gonna get to 5 in a second, and then probably more Phoenixes are gonna get done in these targets. So 5 Phoenixes, 5 lifts. Actually, Rodzin, Hino scouts it and he gets another Spore Crawler in each one of his bases to a total of 6. And I think he needs a little bit more queens as well, since like you can snipe those quick queens. But you know what's really good against Phoenixes?
What is really good?
Zerglings.
Zerglings?
Right. If a Phoenix,
I never expected the answer.
If the Phoenix is lifting a Zergling, it means that the Zerg is actually winning the game.
Ah, I see.
At the same time, Rodzin is getting a good count of the depth. Twilight Council on the way as well. I think it's gonna get Resonating Blaze once again to eventually deal with any link flood the Zerg could do. But as once Cyril said, well, I don't know if you know this story, but in Story Cup they asked Cyril, what do you think is the best counter to Mass Phoenix? It's a strategy that pros are using a lot. So, what counters Mass Phoenixes? And Cyril just said, make more drones.
Ah, right. I think that does make sense a lot, because Phoenix cannot attack buildings, meaning he can't end the game really.
Yeah, so if you get more drones, a win-win.
Yeah.
Hydralis on the way as well, and well, Phoenixes cannot do a lot versus Hydralis. So instead of going for Resonating Glaive, as I said before, Rodzin is actually going for Charge, and once again is getting the Temporal Archives. So no Robo Facility, well actually yes, these are 2 Robo Facilities. So this is a tech switch by Rodzin that actually understood he could not deal a lot of damage with those Phoenixes. He's probably gonna save them for maybe later phase of the game to snipe those Vipers, lift those Lurkers and stuff like that. But he's going for the CIA comp, Charge Lot Immortal Archons. At the same time, by delaying this kind of composition so much, I think Hino got in a pretty advantageous spot. He has a bigger armor supply, he has a worker lead. He's looking good, I'd say.
Yeah, but I think since Storm is halfway done, I guess oh, but the push is about to come, which is problematic for Protoss right now.
Yeah, Storm is not gonna be done in time for the push. Well, almost in time, but it's not gonna have enough energy to pull off more than 2 Storms. So it needs to whip in more I-Templars. Okay, 4 I-Templars, so 4 Storms. He needs to have perfect Storms to actually hold this. There's no other way to do this. He needs the perfect Storm, he needs to lift those Ravagers.
Rodzin knows this push is coming.
Yeah. He's preparing with some really good stasis works. This Storm was dealt a lot of damage. The third one doesn't do a lot, but the fourth one is huge. Stasis work not doing a lot. Now he has to snipe those Archons and he manages to do so. He blocks the gateway, good lives on the Phoenixes, and actually the army of Ino is suddenly getting cleared by the living Immortals, living up to the name. Queen's getting caught as well, and now the game is open once again, and I think Rodzin has a pretty good advantage at this.
Yeah, Rodzin is really good at engaging fights, especially with these Storms.
He had 4 Storms, and I think 3 of them were basically perfect.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Hino, it just felt like Hino just trusted his amount of stuff and kind of went in there. But yeah, Rodzin's engagement is just too good.
And Rodzin seems to know how to play this map a lot. He's getting on this like far sides with Zealots, like those one on the bottom side and those one on the top side, and Zealot run-bys on Automaton are crazy strong. So, tech switch for Hino as well. Well, not really a tech switch, I'd say a tech up. He's getting his Swarmos done. I think it's a good answer, especially to like a really delayed double global play for Rodzin, and now Hino has a pretty strong army. I think he can deal with this, but well, those are almost 8 Storms.
Yeah, that's a hell of a lot of Storms.
Yeah. So more drones are actually dying to this charge like Warping. And well, this is going to be hard to manage for the Zerg. So, juggling those, started stepping those Hydras to try and, oh my god, those Storms!
Oh wow,
oh,
that was
Jesus.
so juicy.
Lotus coming to play, but well, it's not like Lotus counter Storm, it's Storm that counters Locust. And at the same time, those charge lots are just freely attacking the Swarmos, and the drones are actually just trying to get away by the Storm and the drones! 23 drones dying! In the main base of Hino right now, a big battle between Queens, Spines and Zealots is being won by the latter ones. And well, I think Rodzin got a little bit too much damage right now. Only the Immortals actually survived, Immortals and High Tempers, but there are more Storms right now. A wave of Locusts get used to try and clear the army of Rodzin, but only now the charge on Warping in the main is getting cleared, where the Warp Prism is actually getting more and more stuff done. Rodzin uses his Storm to clear those Locusts up, and he eventually gets away. Those Locusts didn't even manage to swoop in. The Warp Prism gets shot away by the Spore, but right now the work advantage of Rodzin is over 20.
Yeah, and we do see a kind of a desperation Nidus network coming down, trying to maximize the value for these.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a really good locust wave, but he eventually manages to get 2 Archons, and that's not too shabby, I guess. But Phoenixes get on top of the Swarmos, and a lot of them are actually going to die. Roaches trying to deal damage, where the Immortals actually getting surrounded. The Locust dealing a lot of damage, and this is a lot of Roaches, but the Phoenix actually lifts their own Immortals, but now they have to deal with the remaining army of Rodzin. Another great storm gets on the Hino army, and those Immortals are just not dying. Oh,
This is so
gosh.
smart from Rodzin, lifting those Immortals just to make sure that
This
they
is so
live.
clever. Oh my god.
Oh my god, this is like the highest level move I've ever seen in my life from a
Jesus.
Protoss.
Hino,
Like-
GG's out of the game. What a game by Rodzin. Incredible. Hats off.
Yeah. Rodzin, I think we can give Rodzin the name of Zombie Toss as well.
Yeah, he just never dies.
Yeah.
Incredible. This was a super close game. But, well, as I said before, I know I said this 1,000 times, but, like, abusing the fact that bases are so far stretched out on Automaton is something the Protoss has to do if he wants to win as a PvZ. And,
Right.
well, I don't actually like the choice of Eno to play an Automaton. And now Rodzin has taken the lead in this grand finals 2-1. He needs 2 more nets to actually make it off, so there is still a lot of room for Hino to catch up. And his next map choice is going to be Kairos Junction.
Right. These following macro matches, these following 3 games, it did look pretty strong up till like early mid game, but then as the time went on and as the immortal count just piled on, Hino started to kind of shake a little bit to the might of what was his name again? I'm so sorry.
Rodzin.
Rodston, yeah. So I think if Hino can be a little bit more cheesy, try to end the game a little bit early on, I think he would probably catch Rodzin off guard and be really well off.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you say, but at the same time, I'm just thinking about what Hino could think, and the holds that actually Rodzin managed to go to make are just so impressive that I will be really scared about doing something too aggressive, since this player just doesn't die. It's crazy. He never flinches. Like he saws a gigantic army of hydras and roaches coming at his way, and he's just, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then he gets those only 4 storms in perfect spots and clears the whole army, and that's just crazy.
Right. Absolutely great from Rodzin.
Now Hino has to step up his game to get back into the series and tie up the score.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see the next game and see what kind of strategy Hino might pull out. Or will we see some cheesy stuff from Rodzin?
Oh well, who knows? Something that's
Yeah.
really strong on Kairos Junction is early pool builds.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Solmos are really good versus Protoss as well, since of the location between behind the third base, like those rocks over here are like a really good spot for. Oh, I called it, man! I called it. 12 pool.
Oh, I like this a lot.
Well, let's get into presentation. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Kairos Junction, 12 pulling, trying to get on top of the score once again is the French Zerg. The green Zerg is Hino.
And on the top left corner, we have the Polish Red Protoss, Rodzin.
Oh wow. So, is this like Bailey Bass? Is this a 12 pull expand? Yes, this is a 12 pull expand. Or is it though?
Oh, I think he's just waiting for his minerals, but
Yeah, he made leans. Oh, yeah, this is a 12 pull expand. Yeah, here it comes. Here it comes. I'm waiting for it. Yes, here it comes. So, the links and the spawning pool actually get scouted. This probe is eventually going to die, or maybe not. It's just trying to pull the Zerglings off. Only 2 Zerglings are following only 1 Zergling is following the probe right now.
yeah, I
Pretty
think
clever by Hino, I think. And at the same time, Hino already, Rodzin already got a full Warroth in his natural. So those links are not going to do a lot. Are just probably trying to chip away at the cybernetic core, like dancing with the zealot a little bit until the second zealot comes out. Yeah, that's how it's done.
Yeah, I think just by taking or at least damaging the cyber core would be a win for
Yeah,
Hino.
oh gosh!
Oh, wow.
Wow! This is pretty committed.
Oh.
The drones get in with the mineral work. This is so clever.
This is smart.
Oh my
This is
god!
smart.
This is one of the smartest plays I've ever seen. Oh my god! He
Yeah,
actually
this
gets
is
this
really-
round on the zealots. But zealots are really good at training, but the Pylon is going to go down.
Oh wow!
The Kid Quest get powered, and now it's really easy for a Zerg to get in the main base of his opponent. This little probe on the other side is just trying to repower those buildings. At the same time, drones and probes are actually fighting over here, and I don't know why. Oh, he don't go for the. Oh gosh.
Oh wow!
Oh my
If he takes
god.
out the Gateway, then I think that will be a GG.
And he's gonna take it out before the Adept is going to come out. Zerglin DPS is crazy, man. The Adept doesn't come out. He's now going to get in the main base of his opponent. Shield battery is going on for desperation by Rodzin, but the super clever play of Ino has actually paid off. And now he gives his links trading off with probes in such a nice spot for probes. But I think that probes are actually going to die a little bit faster. The first shield battery is actually done. More links are going to come through. Only 5 probes have died. How many more remaining? 13 probes
Oh
are
my
remaining.
God.
The shield battery energy is actually over. But this is such a good trade for Rodzin that has actually a supply lead against his Zerg opponent, and now it's so micro.
Oh my god! I think Rosin got this. I actually think Rosin
Not if he
got
loses the pylon. Not if he loses the pylon. Okay, he lost the pylon. Another pylon is on the way. And once again, he tries to fight in that pocket spot against the Zerglings. And now I think the Zerglings get the good ground, but this is not completely true since the probes are actually dealing with this pretty good. And now the links get off since the shield battery is done once again. Chrono boost on the Adept.
And the Adept.
And the Adept is gonna come
Adept.
out, and this is probably GG.
Yeah.
Oh, the Adept comes on the right side, is walled in between the shield battery, the gateway, and the pylon. Rodzin just never dies. Oh my
That
god.
was a really awesome play from Rodzin. Really nice micro coming in, and really nice decision to just build those shield batteries and the nice little wall.
He walled off his own Adept. Oh my god. This guy is a genius.
Yeah, literally 500 IQ.
Even the mineral work with the drones was so like 200 IQ, man. How do you think of that?
It's like Hino is 200 IQ, right?
Yeah.
But then Rodzin is 500 IQ.
Yeah,
Like these two are like really good players, just going at it, and it's a really treat to watch this game.
Yeah, really, man. Like, you know what? This kind of games are what separates a really good player from a pro. Since those striker genius that only a pro player could ever have.
Right. So that is 3-1 so
yeah,
far.
match point for Rodzin.
Right. Wow, that was really nice hold. I just can't get over it because that was such a nice play.
Actually, we're super lucky since we're going to have a replay of the game. And I'm just gonna watch it when I'm sad, you know? I think I'm gonna rename it actually. This was so awesome. I'm gonna rename it. I'm doing it right now in front of everybody on the stream.
After that game, do you think we're going to see another cheesy game from Hino, or do you think he's gonna just macro up and hopefully he would produce a game like set 1? What do you think?
Well, you know what? I think he's going to have a pretty solid game plan in his mind. He chose Kingskov for a reason. That's for sure. And Kingskov is not a short map. So either
Right.
he wants to throw off his opponent and go for a pretty cheesy build, like, I don't know, maybe a Rocholine or something like that, even though it's not really strong on Kingskov. Either he wants to play the macro game. He wants to get in a spot in which he's clearly ahead, like, you know, surviving the damage done by Rodzin and then getting his late game army. Because once you get Bulldogs on Kingskov, you kind of just won the game. There is really little way for a Protoss to stop a late game army of a Zerg on Kingskov. Kingskov is I think is a heavily favored Zerg map right now.
Alright. I also do agree, because it's very long distance and also defensive.
Yeah, and actually the bases are so close to each other. It's so easy to,
Yeah.
to spread creep on this map. It makes up for some really nice long macro games, but you can just look at the minimap. You can see the patches between bases are really super close to each other. And even like the spot between the third base and the fourth base, it seems like, you know, there's a little bit of a hill, of a high ground and low ground. It seems like they're far, but actually the surface space of the fourth base is incredibly small, and the ramp of the third base is actually incredibly big. So getting into this spot and getting a good surface against it is really easy. But let's get into the presentation. Spawning in the top left hand corner of Kingskov, going for a 16 arch, so standard build. We have our French green Zerg trying to come back into the series and not lose 4-1 to Rodzin. He is Hino.
And on the bottom right corner, it is the red Protoss from Poland, Rodzin.
Currently a match point.
Right. Let's see.
Oh well. What do we have here? Really standard right now.
Yeah.
But this actually doesn't mean anything. As I told before in the stream, actually a Zerg player has a lot of ways to actually fake the standard build and then start doing some cheesy stuff, like something really aggressive. But what I can tell you is that Kingskov is not a good Nidus map, not at all. And so, like, the Zerg is kinda almost forced to play a macro game since it's almost always the better option. But at this level, you know, like, okay, I'm on Kingskov, my opponent is going to do something really standard because on Kingskov standard play is stronger, and on Kingskov Zerg is stronger than Protoss. This could lead into some like fake state of confidence. Ino could abruptly like made a lot of links and just go through the map. But Rodzin has used us to such good holds that I don't really know. Oh, sweet! This is a big change in Rodzin playstyle, and I actually really like this at match point. Instead of the Stargate, he goes for a Robo. Oh, and the change for Ino as well. No Roach Warren. Instead of defensive Roaches, he gets the Banes. And this is actually really good.
And also, Rodzin confirmed the fact that the third base is missing right now, and also Pylon blocking it.
This is a Bane bust, man.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm excited.
This is a Bane bust.
So, Hino going for that all-in kind of a play.
Yeah, Banelin Nest almost done. You can morph in at least 5 Banelins right now. And yeah, Eric's gonna come really soon. here they are. The 5 Banes getting moved right now. A lot of lanes on the way. Lane speed almost done. He gets the 4 lanes like in position to get a scout. And then he wants to surround the Adept. Oh my god, this player is so clever. This player is so clever. Now the Bailey Bus is even easier to do. He damages the Adept to actually get through. The pylon block is not a block. And now the lanes can surround the Stalker and the Probe. The Bailey goes into the main to try and do some damage. Shield Battery has no more energy anymore. And lanes are just shredding through his opponents. Now the Sentry gets walked in. But it's going to die to those 2 lanes really soon. More Banelings being morphed to go into the main, and the first Immortal is actually out. But Immortal versus lanes, that's heavily in the favor of the lanes. Banelings try to get into the main right now. He doesn't want to lose. Oh, he explodes the mistake on the pylon. But now he can depower all of those buildings. And actually, the Immortal focusing on the pain. The first Immortal is going to die. The second is not on the way yet. And Hino gets back into the series.
Wow. Really nice play from Hino. I actually didn't think that he'll be able to bust through. But
yeah, this was crazy good.
Time.
Like surrounding the Adept. Really clever.
Really well played.
So there is like this spot in a Protoss game in which Protoss is really weak. It's basically the moment he decides to tech up, so getting a Stargate or getting a Robo. So it's like this moment between 3 minutes and like 4:30 minutes in which the Protoss is really weak. And I think Zerg can really abuse that spot. And it's what we just saw being made by Hino, that once again didn't play the map. He just played his own style. He chose a map, he threw his opponent off into a false state of confidence. And then he bailed him bus. And I don't think Rodzin expected this at all.
Yeah, especially since it's a match point and since there's a high risk for Hino.
Yeah.
I don't think Rodzin really expected that, just like you said. Really well played by Hino.
Really well played and really bold as well. Proving that he's not out of this series yet and that he's a tough opponent. Even for someone like Rodzin who's playing like a god right now. Rodzin forgot to choose a map.
It's like, oh!
Cyber Forest. Actually my favorite map of the pool alongside US0 right now. Not because it looks really nice, but because it's really nice to play on it.
I personally like Cyber Forest the most.
Yeah, I like Cyber Forest and Era Zero at the same, and I think they are the 2 best maps. And what Cyber Forest good Nidus map, of course. And the real peculiar thing about Cyber Forest is the long stretched out main base and the super small natural. Like it's really incredibly small, and this is heavily in favor of the Protoss in case he wants to hold, but in case he goes in on the offensive side, it's actually pretty easy for the Zerg to get some really good surrounds and stuff like that. So the defense advantage for any of those 2 players could be huge. So I don't think we're gonna see them too much on the aggressive side, and I think that's what Rodzin wants. And I think that's what's behind Rodzin's choice.
I am very excited to see this game. As always.
Yeah, but you know there is like some now mind games are truly going on within the super.
Yeah.
Now is the time for mind games, and who knows? Maybe this is a cannon rush.
Oh,
could come through to this.
Bring out that inner Xeno.
Yeah, I would really like to see a Rodzin cannon rush right now. Do you think it's the guy who makes 1 pylon and 1,000 cannons, or like the guy who makes 1,000 pylons and 1 cannon?
1,000 pylons and 1 cannon.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. Spawning in the bottom. Sorry. Okay, just updated the score. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cyber Forest as the green Zerg trying to tie up the series and going to ace match 7. We have our green Zerg from France. His name is Hino.
And on the top left corner, it is the red Polish player, Rotten. And he's Protoss.
Oh, this is a gateway. Oh. My dreams of glory are just gone away. Wanted to see that forge so much. There's
Yeah,
still
I
time,
guess-
maybe a game 7 forge? I would like to see that.
Well, the thing is, Rotten is a very not cheesy player.
Yeah.
I don't
he
think
is.
I've seen one C cheese in the series so far. So
No, I think the most cheesy thing you did was like a heavy committed timing attack, but that's
Yeah.
not cheese. That's just a build. Let's be honest.
yeah, it's just the timing. Oh, I think the Zerg is gonna go for a quick Zerg.
Yeah, but he does not have the minerals yet, so he's eventually going to get it blocked right now, because Rod's Probe is just gonna come at the right moment. And actually with
Yeah.
those markers on the ground is even easier. So Rodzin is just microing the hell out of this probe. Oh my god,
Oh
Nino!
wow!
Oh, what a play!
Flips up.
And Rodzin probes was just standing still.
He
Like-
feels like, oh god.
Oh god. Did he really do that? So, Rodzin going for the gate expand build, saturating his main, saturating his gases. At the same time, nothing to really read coming from Ino yet. He's going to get his screen soon out, and his links as well. As I said before, there is this part in which the Zerg can actually do whatever he wants, since there is no real threat to what he wants to do. So he can get those links a little bit later and get the third base sooner, get those screens a little bit later. And well, once again, Rodzin really wants to pull off the Robo first play, just pulling off his opponent. And I actually think Robo is better than Stargate on this map. So I'm fond of this decision. Twilight Council on the way as well. Yeah, that gets a little bit of a scout, but there's not too much to be scouted. Only saturation, and there are a lot of drones in this base, so he can go safely into making immortals and maybe doing something with this Twilight Council. So charge Resonating Glaze or Blink? What do you think?
I am thinking that it's going to be charged.
Yeah, me too, and charge it is. Even though I would have liked like some Blink Stalkers action.
Yeah, I really like to see Blink because I just think Blink is cool. Like just teleporting all over the place.
And
I
it's
think
just
that's one
something
of
that's really, micro intensive, so it's always a treat for the eye.
Yeah.
So those links are not going to get through. Shield battery going. Oh, the other thing's actually going to die, so the shield battery is a clever move. But overall, it's like not that big of a trade, like 50 minerals in favor of Hino. It's something done with those links before he gets the Roach Warren. And well, 6 gateways for Rodzin. Is this a charge lotto win? I definitely think so.
Oh, I think it is.
Uh-oh.
Oh, So Rotten is like, you cheesed me the last 2 games. Well, let me show you what real cheese is.
Oh my god. 8 gateways, Zealot, all in.
And I don't think it's scouted, or it is
Here
scouted,
that's
but
in
there's not
position,
enough.
but there are already 2 Zealots and an Immortal over here. And Roach Warren just finished. 10 Roaches on the way right now, and the spawning pool gets focused hard by those Zealots. So no more links, no more queens for our Zerg player. And those Roaches are trying to stop with all they can those Zealots but behind it there's one immortal, and he's just going to shred the roaches away and the spore quarter as well. Queen's getting to a nice spot to deal with those zealots. Eventually those are getting cleared out, but another wave of them is just coming through. The immortal getting a goddamn good value. 7 kills on it. Zealots getting on drones, getting on queens, getting on roaches. There's not much more to hold for Hina, who's forced to lose a base or two unless he wants to actually move out his drones on the natural as well. Roaches trying to spread out to deal some damage. Now they get on top of the immortal. There is enough roaches to kill him off, but the juggling with the war prism saves it. And those roaches are not enough. Too many zealots, too few roaches. I think we have a champion, ladies and gentlemen. I think Rodzin did this. Hina calls the GG, and Rodzin is the champion of Alpha Scrims edition number 2.
GG, indeed. It was a really nice game. But at the end, Rodson just going for the twist ball and doing a nice little cheese that no one, that he didn't do in any of his other games. Really nicely played by Rodson.
And by the way, guys, we also have a Macherino code. We can, I think, do we have a Macherino code?
Do we? Let me go check the Discord real quick.
Yeah, me too. If we do have a Macherino, yes, I think. Let me check.
Other question, do we have... No, I don't think we do, unfortunately.
No, I don't think we do. Sadly, yes.
Right.
But, well, okay, yes, we do. We do.
Oh.
Here it is. Yes.
Okay. I see. Alpha Scrims 2.
Okay, my computer is actually going nuts right now. I'm sorry about this. Wait a moment. I'm gonna type the Macherino code. Oh, sorry, Sushi. Sorry.
Wait, do we have interview with the winner?
We can do it if Rodzin wants to.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you ask him?
Yes, I will do that right now. Rodson would like to do an interview next time, so I don't think we will have an interview today.
Oh, okay. Well, it's okay. I think he is actually pretty tired about all those games. Like, he had to pull off, like, I think those were 6 plus 3. It's like 9 games in a row with like 2 minutes of respite for him. And I think he really earned this final victory. It was really incredible. With those crazy holds, with these really clever plays as well. And it has been overall really enjoyable.
Yeah, it was a real treat to watch these games. It was really fun.
I'm just gonna type the Macherino code. So, this is our Macherino code. I'm just typing it in the chat right now. This is the Macherino page, and the code is Alpha Scrims 2 with the A and S capital, and I'm just gonna type it as well in chat. Use it to support our players. Our winner, he really earned this money, and you can just like use like 2 minutes. What am I saying? You can use 30 seconds to contribute to the prize pool, and give something more to those players who work hard to reach this level of play and make us enjoy those games even more. So just go on there and use this code. It's gonna be great for our players, great for our scene, and overall is it's a good action. So you can even do it for free. So why not do it?
Yeah, why not? But before we leave, I would like to just thank our sponsors one last time. Thank you, 24 Hour Fitness. Make sure to go check them out. If you complete the quest in the Match Arena, you will be able to get, I believe, free trials in 24 Hour Fitness. Not only that, make sure to go to your nearest grocery store and buy some boba burgers. Those are really juicy, really nice, really a treat to eat. Share it with your loved one, share it with your family. Boba burgers are really nice.
Well, guys, thank you a lot for watching. It has been a really nice tournament, and we're gonna be back next month with the same format. 4 pro players from Alpha X playing against each other for a prize pool, and in this in these few weeks, in these next few weeks, we're gonna decide the date on which we're gonna do this, and well, overall, I think it's gonna be even nicer because this tournament is just getting bigger and bigger. I'm really happy to have done this and to have had Potato Player with me casting those really amazing players and those really amazing games. And well, I want to thank our sponsors as well. I want to thank Sushi and the players as well, and of course the viewers. So thank you everybody. We're gonna be back next month with Alpha Scrims edition number 3.
Yeah, thank you everybody.
Goodbye guys. Thank you a lot for watching. We're gonna be back.
Peace.